Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
And the winner is your underscore pal underscore blue 69 high.
part of Fahrenheit 9/11. What episode of Tosh.0? Or of yesterday's episode of me? So anyway, we watched no episode tomorrow. What? All right, okay. So yesterday's stream, I completely deleted the VOD because of what showed up on camera. So that means there's no YouTube episode. So today's the first day I'm back for YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I won't have a video from yesterday because I didn't feel comfortable with any of that being up on the screen. I didn't even care about demonetization. I was just like, no, I'm not okay. I'm triggered. I am upset by this. Sorry, I'm exhausted. No, it's okay. I'm blah, blah, blah. A little zooted already. So I was just like, I deleted the VOD. So that means there's no YouTube video going up from yesterday's stream. So for YouTube, this is my first stream back. For Twitch, this is my second stream back, but no one knows. Except for you, Blue. You were here. Anyway, hi. I was doing a joke, like, huh? What I was, oh. Blue, I'm sorry, okay? I'm zooted. Can't even keep my hat on for crying out loud. Anyway, hi. Okay, so hopefully you guys remember a little bit about yesterday. And if not, it's okay. Just take notes on, go watch Fahrenheit 9/11 on your own. It's on Tubi for free. Go make an account and watch Fahrenheit 9/11 and get back to me with your notes, okay? But I have some fun stuff planned for today. I'm so thirsty. All right. Oh, okay. I have to tell you guys this. So I got a message from an Australian person, and they were just like, "Hey, you seem cool," and I'm like, "Thanks. How are the cane toads?" And they were like, "That's a weird question to ask." And I was like, yeah, but I didn't want to bring up the emus first." Or bringing up the emus felt rude. For those who don't know, Australia lost a war to emus. That's something they have to live with. Although we're currently in America, the government is calling your grandfathers and great grandfathers, and anybody who was, I love the Emu War. I do too. I thought it would be so inappropriate to bring Emu War up immediately. Cane toads were the next big thing that I knew. But like your grandparents are now Antifa, okay? Because anybody who is anti-fascist is Antifa. If you're anti-Antifa, you're fascist. You're pro-fascism. Fascism. So anyway, we're gonna keep doing the fun little Medal of Honor thing that we were doing yesterday, even though you missed that. We're gonna keep playing pro Antifa propaganda, and we're gonna go over a bunch of stuff for the 2000s to the 2010s, which is also when my pro Antifa propaganda came out. I believe Medal of Honor Frontline came out in 2004. So, a peak of pro-America propaganda right there. I'm gonna start like going back playing the old video games I have on stuff. I think that's a great idea. I would love to 100% a game, and I don't mean like 100% like every version of the story, just one playthrough all the way through. Starting with Medal of Honor on my Steam Deck. I wish you lived local so we could connect our controllers and then play that way. I would love to do in-person gaming again. Then playing Silent Hill on PSP. There's something so fun about hooking up a bunch of Xboxes together so you could have a LAN party so everybody in the room could play Halo. Or like whipping out like the DDR mats. I'm 100% I 100%ed Spider-Man 2 before or after it crashed. through the crash mess that it is. Oh, I commend your persistence. I commend your persistence. And I had to delete my original playthrough of it. Oof. Buddy, I have the worst back. And especially if like it's a day where I have to do like dishes and fold laundry where I'm basically just sitting like a little goblin. And then on top of that, like playing on my phone or like looking at my phone. My upper back to lower back hurts. And then because my butt's so big, I can't sleep right. So my back is just a wreck. So, I hurt today, and I'm not allowed to take some of my medicines surgery on the 3rd of October. And so like I'm not allowed to take like certain meds that I would usually. Farmer Charlie, where's the corn cob pike? Shut the fuck up, I'm a witch. Hate you. Also, have you seen my butternut squash? I'm probably not helping myself. Anyway, I want to show you this news report. I put this in order. I'm going to show you this news report from before 9/11. Oh no, your butt is oh no, your butt is big. Your steak is too tender and your lobster is too buttery. Buddy, I can't sleep on my back or my stomach. I have to sleep at like this kind of an angle with like my body half twisted. It's not pleasant, okay? I wish I had a straight anything on this body, okay? But unfortunately, literally nothing about me is straight, okay? I hate it. Take the boobs and butt away. I don't want them anymore. Fuck lobster. This is steak and lobster. I hate you guys. Wait, guys, guess what I was doing before stream started? I was watching Hassan. Happy Monday. Yeah, right? Hey, Prodigy, what's
Christ,
up?
there's a boomer around here.
Fuck you, Blue. Okay, bye, everybody. JK, smoking weed. Yeah, same. I am hitting the pipe. Oh, I should buy before sundown. Why did the weed vampires come out? Did you hear that Grinder went down in AZ? I did hear that. I have been begging people, if you get hit up by a politician, you need to out them. I don't even care about outing anymore. Happy New Year. Apples and honey. Oh, is today not Rosh Hashanah? No. Oh, yeah, it's the apples and honey. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite holidays that I technically celebrate. I don't know, I like borrowing celebrations from other cultures. I think that's fun. Tomorrow, I think. But yeah, I think if you get hit up by a politician, you should absolutely out them. 100%. I don't care. Yeah, I like to do the apples with honey. That's like, it's really cleansing and refreshing tonight through Wednesday. Yeah, I'll probably pop that. I'll probably leave a little bit out for Persephone. All right, so first on the docket. First on the docket, we have a news report from October 30th, 2000. I have no idea what this is going to be about. Hades did nothing. Hades didn't do anything wrong. Hades is the most based of the Greek god males, in my opinion. He treats his wife right. He doesn't do a damn thing wrong. All he does is stick up for the people that he cares about. Based. Never cheated. Never cheated. In fact, there were some people that were there to kidnap his wife, and he invited them to dinner and then like killed them or like imprisoned them or sent them to Tartarus with like two very awful punishments. I am Zeus is a bitch, chat said. Yeah, he did his job. He got it, like his wife had a job with him. They got to work together. Now I gotta make sure my windows are closed. Yeah, you better watch your mouth. But yeah, no, hate good guy Hades. I subscribe to the good guy Satan. I think good guy Satan is like a based, true and accurate meme. I have never seen anything in the Bible that doesn't tell me that doesn't tell me Satan is bad. Like he fights God for democracy. Like how more American can you get? Anyway, this is a news report from October 30th, 2000. This is pre 9/11. Okay, for those babies in the chat.
Still so close, so late in the game. Tonight, the new strategies and my questions for Al Gore on the issues voters care about the most. In-depth balance of power, what the next president could do to the Supreme Court, and where George W. Bush really stands on abortion.
No! Sorry, everybody. I hit a button. I went to pause it. October 2000 was great. November 2000 was not. Yeah, we watched a little bit of that last night in Fahrenheit 9/11, where it talks about how, like, it's all kind of, like, it felt like a dream, and that it was kind of stolen, and then everybody got angry, and we watched a bunch of the protests.
The herbal treatment for prostate cancer and the surprising results. And...
Can I call my dad? He knows government.
Do you know this woman? The Republicans hope she'll be a
2000 Unk status for real. I believe Dorothy's older than me. To be fair, I think a decent bit of you other than Blue are older than me. But I also don't know how to judge age by text message or by group chat.
a secret weapon in getting the women's vote.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
The ring lights are so bright, and these are so... Hold on, let me see if I get you guys to see how dark these are. Look at that. Look how dark that is. And then you take... Imagine being a boomer. Couldn't be me. It couldn't be them either. They got lead poisoning.
Good evening. In sports, they like to say, let's go to the videotape. In the great game of presidential politics, it's let's go to the map. The electoral map, the battlefields with 1 week to go. The states in red are considered to be solid for Governor George W. Bush. Those in blue for Vice President Al Gore. 14 are thought to be toss-ups at this point, and that's where the election will be won and lost. NBC's David Gregory is with the governor tonight in a state many consider to be good for Gore. David, George W. Bush simply won't concede California.
God, I love calling people older than me old. Yeah, you'll feel that way for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll realize you're 37, and you'll be like, oh, fuck, I'm the old one now, and then it'll be like, no. Like... Although there was that chatter that came in and was like, bro, I'm younger than you, and you started to feel old. You're unk now.
What will you learn? What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
Dorfidoodle would like to time out Blue.
Bye, Dorothy. I mean, bye, Blue. Thanks, Dorothy.
You won't yet, Tom. Bush barnstorming California, this Democratic stronghold, just 8 days before the election, is seen as highly suspect, little more than a little political poker. Perhaps the real reason he's here, the only reason, is to appear on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno later this evening. The latest statewide poll in California shows Bush trailing Gore by 10 points.
My favorite part about when Blue gets banned is that he goes in the Discord and starts chatting there. But then Tim can see it, so then he just gets hit there too. Love you, Blue.
In fact, most people don't believe the Texas governor can actually win here. He just wants to make Al Gore think he can. Also today, as Governor Bush in these final days...
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping they would have some, like, oh my god, tonight's mischief night. Find out what the kids are throwing at your house this year and if there will be razor blades in your candy.
Promises to unite the country. Bush accuses his opponent, the vice president, of appealing to people's, quote, darker impulses.
If you try to win at any cost, the price is high. You lose your ability to inspire our people and lead a nation.
One more note about California. Even if Governor Bush does not think he can realistically win here...
The 2000 election should have been a polling cycle wake-up. Liberal media, my ass. Yeah, you start to realize that things are exactly the way they have been since, like, the 90s. Like, all this shit was in the background. And it was all starting to boil up. And it was already affecting minority communities. And then it just kind of built up and built up and built up. And then, like, Obama got elected and they were still doing, like, kind of the same shit, but not as much. And they were, like, starting to help people, especially with Obamacare. And then it's like all of that is stripped away. And now we're right back to where we were in 2000, you know, we're 20 years in reverse. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
In the final week, his campaign and the Republican Party will spend $2.5 million on television advertising throughout the state trying. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC. David Gregory.
It's Reagan. It's always Reagan. Yeah. Oh, although, so I have to issue a correction to something I stated. I said the other day that Trump's approval rating is the lowest of any president, with 39% of Americans calling the president okay. His disapproval rating is, like, really high, and his approval rating is at 39%. The lowest, actually, in American history, two lowest were Truman at 34%, and then Nixon at 24%. So he's not too far off. It took Nixon almost the whole presidency. I couldn't tell you about Truman, though. I didn't read too much into that. But, yay. I do blame Reagan a lot.
Gregory tonight. As for the vice president, while he was promoting prosperity and health care today in the Midwest, the rest of his team continued to raise questions about Governor Bush's preparations for the presidency. NBC's Claire Shipman is with the vice president tonight. Claire?
Tom, sources tell us that the Democrats are ready to spend the bulk of their advertising dollars in the final week, almost $12 million worth, on a series.
And Fox News, yeah, Fox News. Definitely. Although, I was going to say, so Rush Limbaugh had a quote that I actually found the other day when I was looking for, like, comparisons to times people have called for political violence and then comparing those to other speeches from different political parties, all up and down the American History Index record player. And Rush Limbaugh had a quote that surprised me. It was like, the Second Amendment is there for when they take away the First. And I was like, damn, even Rush Limbaugh, like, is like, no, we have to be free speech for everyone. So, I don't know. A lot of those conservatives forgot what Rush Limbaugh said, I guess.
Series of commercials targeting Bush on the issue of experience. It's a theme the Gore campaign thinks is resonating with voters, and Joe Lieberman was unusually blunt about it today.
Low stock market. Let me tell you honestly, George Bush is not ready to be president of the United States.
Now, the Gore campaign is testing two basic commercials right now with focus groups for release later this week. One is fairly positive, essentially making the case that Gore has the experience to be president. The other is harder hitting, looking at Bush's record and asking the question, is he ready to lead? And all of this, as you mentioned, while Gore stays focused on the economy. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC's Claire Shipman tonight. NBC Nightly News invited the governor and the vice president to appear on Nightly News in the week before the election to discuss an issue a night. After a due deliberation, the Bush campaign declined. The vice president accepted, and he is in Wisconsin at this moment. Mr. Vice President, one of the major issues separating you and the governor in the area of education, which we'll be talking about tonight, is this whole issue of vouchers. In Milwaukee, a Democratic mayor has successfully led the fight for vouchers that are financed with public money. You and the teachers groups that support you are opposed to that idea. How do you explain your position to a Milwaukee parent who's taken a child out of a failing school and put that child in a safe, secure learning center?
Ugh. We're gonna move past this to the next thing on the playlist, which is December 27th, 2000. Okay, this is Bush has been elected. He hasn't been in office yet, and it's right around Christmas.
The mind behind the Massachusetts massacre. Police say Michael McDermott had an arsenal at home and stashed ammo at work before the shooting started. The FBI's most wanted list, no longer confined to murderers, will tell you who just joined the top 10. Slip sliding away in the icy southern plains, and a sudden U-turn on a plan to cut prescription drug prices.
Those sound like a lot of today's problems.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
And good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm John Roberts. As another American community struggles with another shocking eruption of violence, investigators in Boston's northern suburbs are piecing together the life of the man they say did it. Michael McDermott, a quiet, solitary computer programmer who amassed an arsenal of weapons and say the police put them to deadly use on the day after Christmas, killing 7 co-workers. Randall Pinkston is in Wakefield tonight with the latest. Randall?
John, prosecutors say one of the intended shooting victims here at this software company managed to hide behind a chair and a desk, able to see a colleague methodically murder co-workers. Tonight, the lawyers for accused gunman Michael McDermott say he had been under psychiatric treatment and on medication.
22 hours
I was
after
not
allegedly turning
expecting
his workplace into a...
I was not expecting this. Sorry. That sucks. He was born in 1958 and served in the Navy for less than 10 years. 6. USS Narwhal. Ah! Fly. Wow, they got his married date and his divorce date. They talked about this for a while. Who's on the most wanted list?
Adding a new name and a whole new crime category to its famous 10 most wanted list. Jim Stewart has more on that.
It's a first for the FBI. The first time a classical pianist has been named to the Bureau's 10 most wanted list. The first time someone who never used a deadly weapon has made it this far. And the first time, too, for an accused child
Did he do it with a piano wire?
pornographer. Eric Franklin Rosser has even been featured in People magazine. Only now, he's just a mugshot, the Bureau said, with a long string of indictments.
Rosser transported, distributed, and received videotapes, photographs, and magazines containing children pornography involving young female children.
Rosser had been a noted U.S. entertainer and piano instructor.
Oh
he was just
my God.
joins the likes of as a human being with a big problem, not as evil. Now he joins the likes of terrorist leader Osama bin Laden and accused Olympic bomber Eric Rudolph at the top of the FBI's fugitive list.
Oh my God. This was in December 2000. Osama bin Laden name drop before Twin Towers.
Largely because lawmen are concerned he can't control himself.
Of great concern is the possibility that Rosser might continue to use his music skills and talents to lure and harm additional victims.
I hope they caught that guy.
The problem is, admits the Bureau, Rosser disappeared. FBI sticks to Merle.
But it certainly hasn't been any fun. The ice and snow that swept across the plains in the south have made travel dangerous now.
Which of south. This of ice and snow site told newspaper.
I do wish this one news was like this more.
Now in years were Majority Airlines alone has canceled more than 1,000 flights from here in Dallas, the majority of which officials are blaming on this powerful and dangerous storm, which has paralyzed much of the South.
Flight 3721 Northwest Arkansas at 4 o'clock is also canceled.
It was another day of delays and cancellations in the South.
The airport's been closed down. It has a lot of ice on it.
A thick blanket of ice and snow wrapped around the region, leaving a slippery slope of problems. In Arkansas alone, 500,000 people...
They do not... Well, maybe... I don't know about Arkansas, but Texas does not have the infrastructure for that much snow.
Lost power, state offices were closed, and a website told readers for the first time in 117 years the Fort Smith Times Record newspaper would not be published.
I don't know whether we'll make it there or not, quite frankly. Hopefully.
At airports around the country, thousands remain stranded, cooped up and camped out. Craig and Kathy Reynolds are among the many who've been trying to get back to Little Rock since Monday.
We were visiting his family for the first time, and
they were talking to them and then zoomed through them to look at a person sleeping. Cinema.
15 years, and it'll probably be the last time that we're going to try and do this.
If getting in was difficult, getting out was virtually impossible.
That is
More than a dozen people have died on roadways crippled by the slow-moving
airports do not have comfy anything.
Storm.
It's bad, but they've salted some of the areas, so I think there's a chance you can come and go. It's just whether you want to wreck your truck or not.
And it's not over yet. As the storm continues to head east, forecasters are now concerned that once it hits the Atlantic, it will pick up steam. That could mean a major headache with a ripple effect for anyone traveling over the New Year's holiday this coming weekend as that storm heads up the coast. John?
Maureen Maher in Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Thanks for that bit of bright news. Figures being released tomorrow from the government's year 2000 census are expected to end in its fourth district. Carolina will be the point of 9 years where they're back into a U.S. second.
She thought
up.
Oh, right, because we're still technically in the Clinton administration.
Can't be $1 million.
All Christmas stuff at the
Just wanted to
Medicine Aid.
Okay, all right, we're moving on. We're moving on. Now you guys know. Now here's 9/11. This is 9/11/2001 as it happened. You've seen the style of news reporting. You got a gist of what the news was kind of like in the year 2000 from mainstream media.
Oh, shit!
Trigger warning, 9/11.
What the hell was that?
It sounded like a plane crash.
Hey, Beth, what is that? Somebody hit the World Trade Center or the...
It's a Trade Center.
The World Trade Center.
Yeah. This just in, you were
Matt just
looking
mentioned
at
we have a breaking
obviously
news
very
story to tell you
disturbing
about.
launch out there. That is the World Trade Center, and we just unconfirmed reports this morning.
As we come on now, we have serious news of a major, a very tragic event for the United States. Incredibly, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center.
I just heard a loud boom. You did? Was it a plane? That's what I was thinking. It was a terrorist attack.
Immediately, there's speculation or cause for concern. This is the World Trade Center that was the center of a terrorist bombing some years ago. So the questions have to be asked, was this purely an accident or could this have been an intentional act?
Who was it that bombed the World Trade Center? Was it? Bombed the World Trade Center. Oh, no, sorry. 90s. Okay. I was like, oh, isn't Osama bin Laden part of that? But I was wrong. They blew up the gosh. They blew it up. Gosh darn them. Gosh darn them to heck. I don't know why I read that with a southern accent.
But either way, extensive damage.
What's this other jet doing? What's this other jet doing? Holy fuck!
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Looks like 6, 7 floors were taken out. And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Wait, so hold on just a moment. We've got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll tell you what's going on.
Right, oh my God, another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it. Explosion. My God, it's right in the middle of the building.
If you read her up from under your seat, stay on page 153.
Remember the documentary when we saw this and he sat there for 7 minutes before anybody came and got him? After the second tower had been hit, the first tower had already been hit.
At the count of 3, everyone should be on page 153.
Mom, another plane just crashed into the other World Trade Center. Another plane hit it. A jumbo jet. I'm so scared. I'm leaving. No, don't, Megan. You can't. Bye. I love you. Megan. Mom, I don't care. I'm getting up. Oh, please wait for me.
We do have some videotape of the second plane, and you can see it there.
Where? I didn't see it. Oh, whoa. We're under attack.
And from our vantage point, yeah, clearly difficult to tell.
We're under attack.
What type of plane that is, but it's a horrific scene.
All right, we've just been told also, Michael, sorry, the New York Stock Exchange is being evacuated, as is, I'm sure, much of Wall Street, if not all of it, as much as possible. But the New York Stock Exchange has suspended trading for the moment.
It's war.
I like how this is my palate cleanser after watching Trump's autism announcement earlier. Bro, explain to me how you're going to tell me how to parent my children. Also, I cannot wait for that lawsuit to drop. That is going to be fire. Oh my God. Him walking back out there and being like, and I mean Tylenol specifically. I know they said acetaminophen, but it's Tylenol. Bro, that is name brand. What are you doing? And then how do you tell me to parent my child? You don't get to decide what I do. Isn't that parents' rights? That's what everybody's been preaching for all these years, to get all the books out of the school and to get kids homeschooled and to, you know, get everything out and vaccines taken away. But what about my rights? What about my right to choose for my child? The fuck? Who the fuck are you to tell me how to raise my kids when you didn't even spend any time with like your own? What's wrong with you? Yeah, no. But to calm me down from that, I made a... Hold on, I'll show you. I'll show you what my calm down tool was. Please don't at me for this, okay? I made... I'm so embarrassed. I made, hold on, I gotta make it smaller, a Hasanabi bingo board, or I'm still making it. I'm not done yet. I don't know if it's hard to see for you guys because OBS is really tiny for me. I hope he gets sued into dirt. He constantly gets sued into dirt. The thing is, though, is that he either settles or the other side settles, and they don't always have to make comments about settling. I can't wait to see how Congress is going to react, because like 90% of them are in the pocket of Big Pharma. Like, this is going to be... Welcome to the circus. But anyway, so I put some things in here. I needed like 2 more, and then I was done. But I have folks, anyway, Kaya Place, I think Attempt has 2 keys, but I'll fix it later. Attempts an accent. Mpreg mention 127 moment, burps into mic, chat complains about audio, one guide, chat sends wrong link. Move on, Newsman, Holy Toledo, Self Glazing, No Gaming, Friend of the Show, Lobotomy, Wake Up, Sports, Get Your Shit Pushed in, Turkeys, Chatter comments about what Hassan is eating or drinking, and Mini F. I just need 2 more, and then I think I'm good. Free Spaces, Free Palestine. But I thought this would be fun to do while I watch Hassan sometime. I'll post the link, I guess. But yeah, this can be your palate cleanser, because certainly is mine. Now I have to reframe the video. Gosh. God. Okay. There. Oh my god. I hate this. Yeah, that autism speech. I'm so insulted. I am so insulted for every parent out there.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the world.
I didn't remember that he did this press conference in front of children at the school who are just now finding out that they were under a terrorist attack.
Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
David, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're looking at live pictures of the Pentagon where there is billowing smoke. Jim Miklashevsky just reported that he heard an explosion, and right now we're looking at an aerial view of the Pentagon.
There are reports that the Pentagon has been evacuated and the White House is being evacuated. Clearly, you're seeing now these pictures from Washington, D.C.
All of the airports across the country have been shut down. All flights have been canceled.
But as we know from watching Fahrenheit 9/11, not all the airports were shut down. In fact, a bunch of airports flew a bunch of the bin Laden and members of the Saudi family out of America and back to Saudi Arabia. I think it was 34 of them. My dad was in DC when the Pentagon got hit. He was traveling for work that day. My uncle worked in the Trade Center and he got stuck in the tunnels. Like he was in like the Lincoln Tunnel. He was late. Some anti-venom flights were allowed, but yeah, folks managed to get out. Yeah. The bin Laden and Saudi families worked with the FBI in coordination, which they admitted on Larry King, and they fled the United States before anything could be subpoenaed or asked or anything like that. Those were the only flights, and of course some anti-venom flights.
And for another 7 hours, which is about 5 o'clock Eastern time, and then we'll reignite there. We'll take a look what's going on after that. The probability of extension, as they call that, is high.
Take 2. Take 2 and 2, 1. This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the 2 towers.
Oh,
a huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
Poor old lady, he just like pushed by her.
God!
I hope I live. I hope I live. It's coming down on me. Here it comes. I'm getting behind a car.
Pretty much everyone who filmed that when the towers went down died of cancer or some other lung ailments or is still sick. Yes, unfortunately, almost everybody in this vicinity, especially the first responders, all got very, very sick and have some kind of lung disease or lung cancer, like Dorothy said. that it's something that Jon Stewart was fighting for to help Congress pay for and to allocate money for this because so many people were injured and then no one took care of them. But yeah, a lot of these shots, because everything that built the Twin Towers was so toxic, you know, asbestos being like one of many, you know, there's probably lead in there. Yeah, the GOP didn't want to pay for the first responders. Yeah, exactly. And it's disgusting.
Anthony, you okay? Yeah.
Please. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Watch out, watch out. I got it.
Or take care of the victims. Yeah, it's awful. Oh, nice. Kills for tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to mention at the top of stream. Yeah, I found out at like 11 o'clock today that Kimmel was coming back. I wonder what the monologue will be. What time does he go live? Is he like a midnight dude? I found out like 11 and I was like, I knew it. Because I heard there were rumblings. They should double down. I heard there were rumblings that ABC was like, guys, shh. Shut up. Shh. Don't say anything. Shh. we didn't really want to get rid of you, but we gotta wait till the heat dies down, and then immediately brought back. They read that room as fast as I did after the local news at 11 p.m. Yeah, I'm not gonna be up that late. Fuck that. We'll watch it on tomorrow's stream. Oh wait, I don't stream tomorrow. We'll see. I will watch it. But yeah, Kimmel was coming back. It was just a matter of time. As from what I perceived on my timeline, was as soon as they caught the shooter, everybody in my timeline stopped talking about it. Oh, Wednesday? Oh, because he'll be back tomorrow. So then, yeah, on Wednesday's stream, we'll watch it. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, Disney read the room and they were like, yeah, this is E923. Also, I know Disney lost like $3 billion in market share after they fired Kimmel. So, at least the stock market counts for something.
Idea.
So many people canceled their streaming, LOL. Yeah, I don't have any streaming services to cancel, but if I did, I'd be canceling. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Free speech is free speech, regardless of if it's speech you don't like. You know, there are some exceptions to that, and the exceptions are clearly plainly laid out in the law. And if you think something is, like, defamatory, you can sue for that. But all speech is speech. All speech is free. And Kimmel shouldn't have been fired for that, and I believe the company has, like, a free speech legal precedent that they would win 100%.
I'll tell you that I can't see that second tower, but there was a cascade of sparks and fire, and now it looks almost like a mushroom cloud explosion, this huge billowing smoke in the second tower. This was the second of the two towers hit.
Now this is what it looked like moments ago. My God.
The remains of a airplane crash over on Lambertsville Road.
That was sad.
And probably had a terrorist bomb on board that blew up. Don't know anything more than that. That's what I heard on the scanner. I just saw the smoke come up, and the explosion shook the house clear over here. And we are, what, 15 miles from Lambertsville.
In Washington, there is a large fire at the Pentagon. The Pentagon has been evacuated. And there's, you can see, perhaps the second tower, the front tower, the top portion of which is collapsing. Good Lord. There are no words.
Yeah, 100%. Like, what they did was very heroic. Oh, you're gonna
We
make
have
me
a
cry.
report that a 747 is down in Pennsylvania, and that remains unconfirmed at this point, and so we will check on that.
There's a hunk of this outside the Baltimore Aquarium by their trade center.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. The search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice. We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbored them.
I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
So, then this happened.
On September the 11th, enemies of freedom committed an
Why is it so dark? I don't know why it's so dark.
act of war against our country. Americans have known wars, but for the past 136 years, they have been wars on foreign soil, except for one Sunday in 1941. Americans have known the casualties of war, but not at the center of a great city on a peaceful morning. Americans have known surprise attacks, but never before on thousands of civilians. All of this was brought upon us in a single day, and night fell on a different world, a world where freedom itself is under attack. Americans have many questions tonight. Americans are asking, who attacked our country?
Okay, I might be wrong. Is this Mark Milley over here on the far side?
The evidence we have gathered
Just looks
all
familiar.
points to a collection of loosely affiliated terrorist organizations known as Al-Qaeda. They are some of the murderers indicted for bombing American embassies in Tanzania and Kenya and responsible for bombing the USS Cole. Al-Qaeda is to terror
Always a boat. Always a boat.
what the mafia is to crime. But its goal is not making money. Its goal is remaking the world.
This guy is holding on by a thread.
And imposing its radical beliefs on people everywhere. The terrorists practice a fringe form of Islamic extremism that has been rejected by Muslim scholars and the vast majority of Muslim clerics, a fringe movement that perverts the peaceful teaching of Islam. The terrorist directive commands them to kill Christians and Jews, to kill all Americans, and make no distinctions among military and civilians, including women and children. This group and its leader, a person named Osama bin Laden, are linked to many other organizations in different countries, including the Egyptian Islamic Jihad and the Islamic movement of Uzbekistan.
There's a distinction on why they dislike us. Yeah, it's probably because we've destabilized the region obnoxiously, installed puppet states, Americans, extremely interventionist foreign policy. Yeah, exactly. But I didn't believe that then. Terrorists, go fuck yourself. Yeah.
There are thousands of these terrorists in more than 60 countries. They are recruited from their own nations.
That guy looks. Oh yeah, that's the guy that was on the video.
And
Never mind.
neighborhoods.
America, shocked Pikachu face.
And brought to camps in places like Afghanistan, where they are trained in the tactics of terror.
Terror.
They are sent back to their homes or sent to hide in countries around the world to plot evil and destruction. The leadership of Al-Qaeda has great influence in Afghanistan and supports the Taliban regime in controlling most of that country. In Afghanistan, we see Al-Qaeda's vision for the world. Afghanistan's people have been brutalized. Many are starving, and many have fled. Women are not allowed to attend school. You can be jailed for owning a television. Religion can be practiced only as their leaders dictate. A man can be jailed in Afghanistan if his beard is not long enough. The United States respects the people of Afghanistan. After all, we are currently its largest source of humanitarian aid, but we condemn the Taliban regime.
Oh my God. Oh, it's Rudy Giuliani. All the Four Seasons. Clinton. Oh my God, Chuck Schumer. Oh my God, I didn't even recognize him. God, he's so spineless. He looks young as heck. Yeah. That's because, what is he, like 60? Nah, he's old still. Yeah, he's like 60, right?
It is not only repressing its own people, it is threatening people everywhere by sponsoring and sheltering and supplying terrorists.
Isn't Chuck Schumer like pushing almost 80?
By aiding and abetting murder, the Taliban regime is committing murder. And tonight, the United States of America makes the following demands on the Taliban. Deliver to United States authorities all the leaders of Al-Qaeda who hide in your land.
He's 74. So he's like 54. Well, no, this is 2001. 2021, he would have been... Okay, never mind. I'm not doing the math anymore. He's somewhere in his late 40s, early 50s. 49 to 51, depending on birthday. Oh my God, approximate knowledge. Condoleezza Rice.
Release all foreign nationals, including American citizens you have unjustly imprisoned. Protect foreign journalists, diplomats, and aid workers in your country. Close immediately and permanently every terrorist training camp in Afghanistan and hand over every terrorist and every person in their support structure.
He'll be 75 in November, LOL. He's only a year older than my dad. I think he's the same age as my grandparent.
To appropriate authorities. Give the United States full access to terrorist training camps so we can make sure they are no longer operating. These demands are not open to negotiation or discussion.
Okay. Sorry, I can only take so much of Bush. So this is called Freedom Fries and other stupid. Wait, hold on. I think this might be long. I wanted to do something quick. Those terrorist training camps were like elementary school jungle gyms. Yeah, they were just bombing children.
I want to get to Washington right now. The refusal of France to support the U.S. in Iraq, triggering a symbolic protest.
They filmed dudes on monkey bars. Ugh.
Instead of offering French fries, some restaurants across the country are now calling them freedom fries. That message also being heard in Washington, now being served in congressional cafeterias. Freedom fries, and instead of French toast, you can get freedom toast.
We ran across this story coming to us from Beaufort, North Carolina, where a certain restaurant there is now saying they're not going to be serving any more French fries. That's what we're hearing.
Like, what recruiting tool is that? Here comes 20 to 30-year-olds do the monkey bars terribly.
And Neil Rowland is he's the operator of this restaurant. It's Cubby's in Beaufort.
What they should have been doing is oh no, I lost the name of it. What's the one where it's like you jump up on stuff and like Marjorie Taylor Greene likes to do it, filmed on the big VHS camera. Forget what it's called. It's like the exercise that Marjorie Taylor Greene does. CrossFit. Yeah, they should have been doing CrossFit.
And there's Neil. He's joining us now live to tell us what this is all about. Hey, Neil, where'd the idea come from?
We opened up our menu and the word French just took us and grabbed us. So all of a sudden we decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to change our French fries to freedom fries in support of our president, also our troops, to show support.
Yeah, that's what we believed. Yay. All right, here's some dumb shit Bush said. Wait. No, this is the one I want. Why did it? Okay, whatever.
We got an issue in America. Too many good docs are getting out of business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their...
This is CBS's 8 years of Bushism. Were the fries free? No, we just hated the French. 8 years of Bushisms. This was like a huge thing. Bush got made fun of all the time. And this is like a piece of American history. So you guys have to endure through it now.
Their love with women all across this country.
And in his brief remarks, the president drew a roar.
Who let back the blue in? What do you mean, me?
From the crowd after putting his foot in his...
Listen, I've admitted it. I was bread and butter. What? What? No! Listen, I'm zooted. Be nice to me.
Christ, there's a boomer around here.
Mouth.
You helped our nation celebrate its bicentennial in 1976.
The president's humor came to the rescue.
She gave me a look that only a mother could give a child.
Thank you, Holiness. Awesome speech. Is that Sam Donaldson? Forget it, you're a has-been.
I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you.
Now watch this drive.
Now watch this drive.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
I think they misestimated the will and determination.
Neither do we. Now watch this sick fucking backflip. Yeah. We're gonna stop all the terrorists and you're gonna help us. Now watch this backflip. It's crazy how competent his administration is compared to orange turds. Yeah, 100%.
Determination of the commander-in-chief, too. A year ago, my approval rating was in the 30s. My nominee for the Supreme Court had just withdrawn. And my vice president had shot someone.
Okay, see, that's a president who can take a joke at least. Oh my God. You would never see Trump do that.
I said to him the other day, George, if you really want to end tyranny in the world, you're going to have to stay up later. Here's our typical evening.
Roasted. This is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I believe. This is something usually that the White House puts together with like a bunch of the press, and they all have a good fun night. People make yucks and they roast each other. It's pretty good. I think John Oliver did it one year. One year, Barack Obama played his birth video, which was just the Simba, the circle of life. Like, that's what he played. Like, it was really funny. I miss when politics was like this. Like, bring this back to politics.
9 o'clock. Mr. Excitement here is sound asleep. And I'm watching Desperate Housewives.
Have they seen him dance?
Well,
Because they might want to rethink.
oh, that's not good. Maybe he'll play with the band.
He cracks me up when he's dancing, and he's done it so many times in public. He obviously trying to fit in.
It was a board. Oh my god, he has no moves. Oh my god. Mayonnaise would call him white. Oh my god. I've seen some bad rhythm, but that was bad. Oh man. He should do the Gangnam Style. I don't think he could. All right. I have to use the restroom. How long do I think it's gonna take for me to go inside, use the restroom, back out, and potentially get a snack? Sorry, this is the dancing. Berries and cream, berries and that who love berries and
Guys, 7,
6,
go,
4,
jump. Oh boy, 2, 1.
Wait a minute. It's New Year's Eve 1999. What the hell are you people doing watching this crap?
2000. The year that ended the previous millennium was as strange and chaotic as the Y2K scare. The 1990s brought the end of the Cold War, ushering in a time of relative peace and prosperity around the globe, as well as the proliferation of the World Wide Web, grunge music, and frosted tips. The 2000s would build on that, as cell phones became ubiquitous, civil rights took some giant leaps forward, and social media began to take over our lives. At the same time, the decade brought the devastating terrorist attacks of 9/11 and the subsequent Iraq War. It was all that, plus more iconic gaming consoles than you can possibly imagine. We're going to take you through the news, culture, sports, entertainment, and all that was weird in the aughts. This is Timeline. Won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Because this one is all about 2000. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and let us know in the comments below your favorite memory from the new millennium. Now, are you ready to see what happened in the year 2000?
Freaking New Year, dude.
Freaking New Year.
Okay, about that new millennium thing. Because there was no year zero, the new millennium wouldn't technically start until 2001. But that didn't stop people from partying like it was 1999 on December 31st, 1999. The excitement of a new century coming off the heels of the booming economy of the Clinton years and the seemingly infinite promise of the internet kicked off the year 2000 with an optimistic mood. The year ahead would see its share of tragedy and political controversy. But ultimately, it would turn out to be more like a continuation of the positive and prosperous 90s than like the turbulent decade that was to follow.
Get ready!
This is 2000.
Hey there, Weird Historians. This video is sponsored by Mondly, offering a limited time 65% off lifetime access during their back-to-school sale at mondly.app/weirdhistory. Has studying weird history from around the world ever left you wanting to learn another language? Mondly is the time machine co-pilot you need. The app has access to 41 foreign languages from 33 native languages, creating over 1,000 different language combinations. If your native language is Catalan and you'd really like to learn Farsi, you don't know what I'm saying. But also, Mondly has got you covered. Learn via daily lessons recorded by fluent speakers to ensure proper pronunciation, then test your knowledge with weekly and monthly quizzes to review and recap what you've learned. Best of all, you can learn on your own time with real-time feedback provided by the speech recognition chatbot to help quickly improve your pronunciation without the need to wait for a human teacher. Get lifetime access to all languages for 65% off by visiting mondly.app/weirdhistory or following the link in the description. Thanks again to Mondly for sponsoring this video.
Hey, Homer, weren't you the plant's Y2K compliance officer?
Absolutely. Must have been hard debugging all those computers, huh, Homer?
Doing what now?
Before 2000, technologists sounded the alarm about an imminent computer disaster known as the Y2K bug. The issue was that most software was written to calculate the year using 2 digits, omitting the 19. Once the date rolled over to 2000, the software would think it was the year 1900 again, and planes would start falling out of the sky, allegedly.
Oh no, it's happening.
The U.S. spent almost $150 billion correcting the software to avoid the disaster, and the changeover came and went with no major problems. Miami Dolphins quarterback Dan Marino was already considered one of the best to ever play the game when he clinched the final win of his 17-year career on January 9th, besting the Seattle Seahawks 20-17 in what would also be the last football game ever to be played in the Seattle Kingdome. Today, Marino is often regarded as the greatest quarterback who never won a Super Bowl. Despite his lack of Super Bowl rings, Dan Marino was voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility on August 7, 2005, in a class that included fellow quarterback Steve Young.
I'm going to start licking my fingers a little bit, because you know what happens when I lick my fingers.
Goodbye, Charlie Brown. Tonight, a final farewell to the characters that millions grew up with and the man that gave them life.
On February 12, 2000, Peanuts creator Charles M. Schulz succumbed to a heart attack at age 77.
When you die, if you ever die, that's the end of it.
My children just don't want anyone else to do it. And I've seen too many strips go downhill terribly because the syndicate tried to hang on to them and have other people do them.
Corporate creators.
Yeah.
After single-handedly producing every single Peanuts comic over the strip's 50-year run, Schulz had retired the previous December.
The Cold War ending was the beginning of the end of rich people giving a shit about appearances. Yeah. That was also Reagan, wasn't it? No, was that Bush? That was Reagan. I got popcorn, kettle corn.
December, after his health became too poor to continue. His final Peanuts cartoon was a single panel of Snoopy writing a letter, containing a heartfelt goodbye message from Schulz to his fans. The day after his passing, newspapers published a reproduction of his final comic, adorned with images from throughout the strip's run.
To die the day.
No, but no Russia to show up against meant keeping all the money. Yeah.
That the last strip appears verifies the sentence that he once put forth, which was, "Cartooning is my life."
Back home on the couch, the PlayStation 2 released in Japan on March 4th, pulling in $250 million in sales on its first day. The system would make its North American debut 7 months later on October 26th.
Are we still in 2001?
Am I here for the PlayStation 2?
Excited by the system's compatibility with...
What a baddie! Oh my god!
The system would make its North American debut 7 months later on October 26th.
Am I here for the PlayStation 2?
Excited by the system's compatibility with previous generation titles, a rarity in those days, gamers cleaned out store shelves.
The PS2 is older than me. Yeah, congratulations.
And the entire run of 1.4 million units was sold out by the end of the month. Nearly 25 years later, it remains the best-selling video game console of all time.
Yes!
his celebration.
Respect the pouch! Respect it!
On March 12th,
Oh, this is just a re-upload of something. This is a taping. That was a commercial.
during his celebration of the first Mass of Lent at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, Pope John Paul II asked for forgiveness for the transgressions of the Catholic Church that have occurred over its lengthy history. The Pope covered a long list for which to seek pardon, which included transgressions against other Christians, women, Jews, indigenous peoples, and specifically for violence against followers of other faiths, such as the Crusades and the Inquisition. Better late than never. On this day of pardon, the Pontiff also stressed forgiveness for those who have persecuted the Church and its followers.
I said, whose number do you need?
You don't know 600 plaintiffs' numbers by heart. Annabelle Daniels.
Annabelle Daniels, 714-454-9346.
Okay, look, I think we got off on the wrong foot here.
That's all you got, lady. 2 wrong feet and ugly shoes.
530 members of the fringe religious group Movement for the Restoration of the Ten Commandments of God perished in a fire in the Kanunga district of Uganda. Initially believed to be a mass suicide, the discovery of hundreds of more bodies revealed the fire to be an act of foul play, reminiscent of Jonestown. Investigators would blame the movement's founders for the nearly 830 murders, but whether the perpetrators themselves also died in the fire remains a matter of debate. The hit song Say My Name from R&B trio Destiny's Child, featuring future Queen Bey herself, reached #1 on the Billboard charts on March 18th. The group's second #1 single won the 2000 MTV Video Music Award for Best R&B Video and was nominated for 4 Grammys.
Say my name, Destiny's Child.
Ultimately winning Best R&B Performance by a duo or group with vocals and Best R&B Song.
I can't believe we're winning a Grammy, ladies.
Oh my god, that is such the blueprint for K-pop. Like the 3 very almost identical outfits, but things are slightly different. I love it.
Sticking with music, after being repeatedly delayed by legal proceedings, NSYNC's 3rd studio album, No Strings Attached, finally dropped on March 21st. Powered by singles like Bye Bye Bye, It's Gonna Be Me, and This I'll Promise You, No Strings Attached was a smash, arriving just as the boy band trend was beginning to fade. The album is often cited as the best of the teen pop genre. Golf superstar Tiger Woods lost the 2000 Players Championship PGA Golf Tournament to Hal Sutton by a single stroke on March 27th.
41-year-old Hal Sutton is about to become the oldest champion in the history of this.
People really cared about golf in the 90s or in the 2000s, like especially because of Happy Gilmore. I really feel like people were giving a shit about golf because of that. Don't you have homework, Blue? He does. That's why he's studying. Do you have your notebook, Dorothy? Are you taking notes? Because there will be a quiz.
This event.
Sutton, who had previously won in
I don't know if
1983,
you saw.
took home one.
I don't know if you saw the notification. Golf has always been popular, right? But I just feel like it was more popular in the 2000s. Like the only time I hear about golf now is like Trump. Also, Tiger was #1 for like years and years. That's fair.
$1.8 million for his victory, the first 7-figure winner's share the tournament ever offered. Woods, however, would win his first of 2 Players' Championships the following year, ironically triumphing over Vijay Singh by just 1 stroke.
I always finish my homework at school the day it was due.
Guess he was still upset about that prize money.
Same.
On April 3rd, a federal judge ruled that Microsoft had violated 2 sections of the Sherman Antitrust Act's anti-monopoly laws by integrating their Internet Explorer browser into the Windows operating system. The judge ordered that Microsoft be broken up into a browser company and an operating system company, but that ruling was later reversed on appeal. The government would finally settle the case in 2002. Baseball history was made on April 10th, when future Hall of Fame outfielder Ken Griffey Jr.
just hit his 400th career home run.
The history-making dinger came on a pitch from Rolando Araujo in a game between Griffey's Cincinnati Reds and the Colorado Rockies.
I told my dad, it's a cheap way of not buying him a gift on his birthday. So, he'll get this ball.
At just 30 years and 141 days old, Griffey became the...
Remember when we cared about antitrust laws? Yeah. I don't know what it was, but when they started like stacking the courts, things feel like they just went completely out of the window in terms of like integrity. Like I feel like everything's motivation. But I could be wrong. I wasn't alive.
The youngest player in league history to ever achieve the feat. America's pastime rang in the new year by opening 2 new stadiums on the same day. On April 11th, both the Detroit Tigers and the San Francisco Giants played in their new respective homes for the first time, at Comerica Park in Detroit and Oracle Park in San Francisco. It was very nearly 3 new stadiums that opened on the same day, but the Houston Astros played their inaugural game in Minute Maid Park 4 days earlier, on April 7th. All 3 parks are still in operation today.
Holy crap! You're freaking Lon's on from Metallica!
Maybe I wouldn't have to myself out if you kids didn't steal my music.
We're not stealing, okay? We're just sharing with each other, you know?
You wouldn't download a pizza. Apple backed the Microsoft antitrust. Oh my god. What is it? If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't theft? Is that how that saying goes?
On April 13th, Metallica sued Napster, claiming the file-sharing service, which was offering their entire catalog
They stopped after the iPod sales went crazy, I
to
bet.
download for free, was
They were
engaged
like,
in copyright infringement and racketeering. Because it was. But it was so cool, you guys. The first such suit by a high-profile band triggered an avalanche of similar actions from other recording artists. A proposed settlement would have seen Napster bought out by Bertelsmann AG. But when that fell through, the once popular file-sharing service was left with no choice but to file for Chapter 11.
If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't theft. Yeah. Napster could have gone legit, yeah.
And liquidate its assets.
Napster. Sharing's only fun when it's not your stuff.
On April 22nd at 5:15
Kept all the music in one stop. Yeah, you know, not for nothing, but Napster sounds kind of socialist. You know? Instead, torrenting is free, LOL. Yeah. Napster sounds really socialist. Okay? Well, we get to take all of your stuff. That's how socialism works, right?
a.m., federal agents removed 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez from the home of relatives in Miami. The boy had been found alone on a raft off the coast of Florida after his mother perished during their escape from Cuba. Backed by Fidel Castro, the boy's father demanded his return to Cuba, and the case drew widespread media attention. The raid was executed after the boy's relatives ignored an order from U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno to turn the boy over to authorities.
My hope is that people will look at this little boy and get him into a situation where he can live a normal life.
Gonzalez, now married with a child, was elected to lead his local committee for the defense of the revolution in 2015. And in 2023, he successfully ran as a candidate in the Cuban parliamentary election, taking office on April 19th, 2023.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Eminem's third studio album, the Marshall Mathers LP, dropped on May 23rd, featuring now iconic singles like The Real Slim Shady, The Way I Am, and Stan. The album sold over 1.7
Oh my god, the guy in Stan is the guy from Final Destination?
million copies in its first week, making it one of the fastest-selling albums in history. As of 2022, it remains one of the 15 best-selling albums of the 21st century.
As always, should you or any member of your armed force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow all knowledge of your actions. And Mr. Hunt, the next time you go on holiday, please be good enough to let us know where you're going.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
If I let you know where I'm going, I won't be on holiday.
What brought you here, if it's not the money?
Everybody's here for the money. I'm not going to listen to everybody's sob stories and then weigh them.
Correct.
I believed him for a minute.
63-year-old Peter Houghton of England became the first person to receive a permanent artificial heart, the Jarvik 2000, to kick off the summer months on June 20th.
To go back just to walk around the local reservoir or the duck pond, you know, was such a joy.
Prior to Houghton's surgery, the device had only been used as a temporary bridge to a heart transplant, but the Jarvik 2000 would keep Houghton alive another 7 years. He passed away on November 25th, 2007. The 21st of June saw Scotland vote to abolish Section 28, a group of laws that prohibited the promotion of homosexuality by local authorities. Section 28 had been in effect since 1988 after being developed and passed into law by the United Kingdom Parliament during the Ministry of Margaret
Thatcher? That Margaret Thatcher?
Thatcher, but Scotland's Parliament, devolved from the UK Parliament in 1999 with prescribed powers, voted 99-17 to erase Section 28 after months of heated debate between politicians, LGBT activists, and
It's pretty base that, like, as soon as they separated, they were like, no, gays are legit. Fuck Margaret Thatcher,
church
man.
authorities.
Run! When I finish this, we're gonna move on to gaming. And then we'll probably come back to this when I get tired of gaming.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience.
On June 29th, Eminem's mom, Debbie Mathers-Briggs, filed a lawsuit against her son for defamation. At issue were the lyrics to his hit My Name Is, in which he says, "My mom smokes more dope than I do." Claiming that the song's popularity made it impossible for her to find work, the rapper's mother asked a judge to award her $10 million in damages. The suit was ultimately settled for a mere $25,000, most of which went to Mathers-Briggs' lawyer.
Will the real Marshall Mathers please stand up and take responsibility for his actions?
Is this real life?
I've got to study.
On 100 and Pearl Jam set at the Roskilde Festival in Denmark on June 30th, over 100,000 fans were caught in a crowd crush that left 9 people dead.
3 steps back, please. 1, 2, 3.
The band would blame lax safety procedures and a lack of action on behalf of venue security. Deeply affected by the unfortunate events, the group has continued to mark the tragedy with statements every 10 years.
And we'll always just be so sorry for the tragic events that took place.
On July 8th, tennis legend Venus Williams won her first Grand Slam singles title at Wimbledon. Just 20 years old, Williams defeated Lindsay Davenport in the final round. The win would catapult Williams into the upper echelons of elite players and would turn out to be the first in a string of major victories. She would win the singles title at Wimbledon again in 2001, 2005, 2007, and 2008.
Many American legislators have contended that debate over mutant issues should
We're
be the
still
primary
only in the year
focus of
2000.
what is a strictly diplomatic affair.
Get out of my bar, freak.
July 29th brought wedding bells for movie star Brad Pitt and Friends star Jennifer Aniston. The couple exchanged vows on the beach in Malibu, California, before 200 of their closest acquaintances. The extravagant nuptials, which were believed to have cost well over $1 million, featured 4 different bands, a 13-minute fireworks display, and 50,000 individual flowers. The power couple split just under 5 years later, on January 7th, 2005. The couple told People magazine they remained committed and caring friends with great love and admiration for one another. But Aniston would officially file for divorce on March 25th, 2005.
You guys still talk, you and Brad?
You know, we've exchanged good wishes and all that sort of stuff to each other, but it's not a constant thing.
Oh,
On August 4th, the United Kingdom celebrated the 100th birthday of the Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth. Born Lady Elizabeth Angela Marguerite Bowes-Lyon on August 4th, 1900, she would marry Prince Albert, the second son of King George V, who would ascend to the throne as
Didn't she just die? Was she 120 years old?
King George VI in 1936. She took the throne herself following her husband's death in 1954. Elizabeth's
never mind.
centennial drew over 40,000 well-wishers together outside Buckingham Palace. Celebrated actor Sir Alec Guinness became one with the Force on August 5th. Guinness appeared in dozens of classic movies, including Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago. but he's best known for playing Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original Star Wars trilogy.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Guinness had been diagnosed with prostate cancer earlier in the year and was further diagnosed with liver cancer just 2 days before his death. After a long development process that began way back in 1998 under the codename Dolphin, Nintendo finally unveiled the GameCube on August 24th. Despite a widely praised game selection, its lack of multimedia features led to a mixed reception and slower than expected sales. After 18 years, 7 Tony Awards, and 7,485 performances, Andrew Lloyd Webber's blockbuster musical Cats closed its run at Broadway's Winter Garden Theater on September 10th.
I'll be really choked when that sign comes down because it's been part of the New York skyline for a long time.
I just did it for fun. Never thought that it would ever get on a stage.
The production began on October 7th, 1982, surpassing a chorus line to become the longest-running show in Broadway history. But after the 10th of September, all we had left were the memories. That is, until Cats made the jump from the stage to the screen in a major motion picture that premiered on December 20th, 2019, nearly 20 years later. But unlike the stage production, the movie version was so poorly received that not even Mr. Mistopheles could save it. On September 12th, the Netherlands House of Representatives passed a law legalizing same-sex marriage, as well as same-sex divorce and adoption. The bill would be approved by the Senate a month later and received royal assent from Queen Beatrix in December. The law took effect in April of 2001, officially making the Netherlands.
Wow, so many people were pro LGBTQ. You would not have known this in America at all. I'm just finding this out now.
The first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage.
Wake up! Don't go to New York. I thought we were going to Morocco. There is no Morocco. There's not even a Penny Lane. All these rules and all these sayings and nicknames.
Honey, you're too sweet for rock and roll.
Rolling into October, Yugoslavian President Slobodan Milosevic resigned from office on the 5th after his attempt to rig an election triggered mass protests across the country. A corrupt authoritarian dictator accused of encouraging police brutality, suppressing the freedoms of speech and the press,
Boy, where does that sound familiar?
engaging in election fraud, and assassinating his political enemies, Milosevic employed the government Federal Elections Committee to change election results in certain regions, unsuccessfully trying to trigger a runoff with his opponent, who was ultimately declared the winner with a narrow but definitive majority. After his resignation, he was eventually jailed, and on June 29, 2001, he was turned over to The Hague to be prosecuted for war crimes committed in Kosovo. But Milosevic succumbed to a heart attack before the conclusion of his trial. That's one way to stay out of prison.
I went in and just simply, into a little saucer, then took the saucer and fed it to Geppetto. That's what I named him, Geppetto.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Back in 2000, NASCAR fans were treated to a thrill on October 15th, when racing legend Dale...
Oh my god, can we just get to September 11th? Jesus Christ. Charlie bit me! Oh hey, I watched that movie. Project Tiger Hidden Dragon. Gore concedes the election. Oh brother, we're out there. The other one. Oh my god, we're 30 minutes into it and we still haven't even gotten to September 11th. There's Y2K, Lord of the Rings. Okay. I think that's January 15th, 2001 was the last one. Yeah, okay. So, God, it took 30 minutes to go through a year. Oh. Okay, I got close. Okay, August 1st. Okay, so August 25th. Or 8th.
In the U.S. Open, with Venus successfully defending her title against Serena and claiming her second straight championship on the 8th. It was actually a doubly historic occasion because it was the first Grand Slam final to be played between competing sisters in 117 years. Sibling rivalries get intense. We can only take about one every century. The world changed forever on a Tuesday morning in New York City in the second week of September. The events of that day exacted a terrible cost from the American people. The national grief and trauma shifted the way American foreign policy was handled over the next 2 decades and continues to influence policy and legislation to this day. Unfortunately, due to platform restrictions, we can't go into more detail in this video, so we've provided multiple source links in the description if you'd like to learn more about this event.
Today, our fellow citizens...
Okay, we're caught up. We'll move past that. I'll be covering the 2000s for a few weeks before we move on to our pop quiz and then the next section. So don't worry, we will continue this video. But it is now time to show you guys just how sick and twisted Antifa is by putting out like pro-Antifa sorry, I can't take myself seriously. Pro-Antifa propaganda. These people are oh my god, I gotta put it on the bingo board, but Trantifa, hold on, Trende Iragua, so it would be like Trantifa. Sorry, it's really loud. I'll adjust it. One moment.
You're about to...
You're about to embark. Trantifa is probably my new, like, favorite, like, ship name. Wait, I gotta load. I know that's supposed to be Medal of Honor front line, but it looks like Mawful. Bowful. Okay, okay, so when you save the game, it does remember those things. Okay, okay. Alright, now I just gotta change the game setting. For the Medal of Honor front. Not HD, original Xbox. No. I figured out why it didn't. Right, it doesn't fit. He said. All right. I'm so excited. Wait, I did Into the Breach. Okay. Storm the Port. Okay, we were on this one. I think because I put in the passwords, it like showed off every level, so that's what's... I don't remember how to play. Also, I need to turn these lights off. All right, hold up. Can't see the screen. Hopefully I don't look like shit to you guys. That's the wrong screen. Well, now I messed it up. I do like when it kind of freaks out a little bit. There we go. No! Oh! All that work. Okay. Where's my controller? Okay, so Target couldn't see. Okay, is this how I shoot? I remember these games. You should. You shouldn't because they're propaganda. Okay? Funny enough, Call of Duty was World War II originally, and then kind of crushed Medal of Honor. Yeah, I had a feeling that's why we didn't see it anymore. Fuck. I just want to stand up. There we go. Banana. Oh, hold on. XLB right. Back YX. Bam. Oh my god, these look like the containers from Fallout. Actually, they look better.
Was rieche ich denn hier? Das war Günther. Er hat sich den Boden gefressen.
And this game is old, yeah. Not as old as me, though. Oh. Got him. Oh. I'm so glad I put that cheat code in because this controller sucks. Oh, look, the chef, he throws knives. Well, he would have. Nope. Oh, I got him. Get him. Is that their oxygen? Oh wait, do I have her name? No, no grenades on a submarine, man. Who decided to do that? How did I get off the submarine? Now what? Now what? Do I leave? Do I go back to the hatch? I feel like there should have been more people on this submarine. Oh, am I gonna die if I don't, like... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. It was right there. Oh, what do you mean door will not open? What else was I supposed to do? Someone better help me. I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, so it's not... There's a picture of a butt. Oh my god, I'm so stupid.
Also, was warten wir dann? Wir wollen ihn überraschen.
You can't see the heads in the way. How is your frame rate on playing this? Not the greatest. Does it look really bad? Looks like I dropped a few frames.
Erlaubnis zum Anlegen an Steg 11.
That looks decent. Oh. Okay, good. No. You. Oh. I suck. It's really hard not to try to move both at the same time. Oh, I'm guessing this time. Now we can. Wait. Check all officers' bunks? Okay, hold on, wait. Currently playing this. Oh wait, there was this one. Now you can leave, right? Yeah. Nice! My accuracy went way up! 48%. I got a gold star. Awful.
Fahne drüber, falls es regnet.
Willst wohl befördert werden, Kurti?
Na gut, dann lassen wir das Zeug eben fahren.
Jetzt mir! Bisschen Tempo!
Look, there's a guy up there. I don't know where he is. The head's too big. That's funny. You're way up there. No. I got him. One here. I love this game. Cheat codes are supreme. Bring this back to gaming, man. Oh, hold on. XLB, right, back, YX. Yes. How do I zoom in? Aha! Oh, this is gonna be awful. Look. Kelly yelled California. Now I know what you mean about the D-Day mission. Yeah, I told you. Yes, keep shooting at me so I know where you are. Oh. I got him. No. Ah. I love this gun. Wait, which way do I go now? Wait, which way do I go? I jump down? We're over here. Get in this build. We're just gonna go back down and around. Oh. Not that. Oh, I knew that was off. Oh no, I got him. Where? Ladder. Oh. No! Thing moves so slow. Whee! Whee! Oh my god, it's making me kind of nauseous. Okay, where are they? Damn, you all better suck my dick after that shot. Holy shit. I'll take it. Need ammo. Yes! I love when games reward you for trying things. Let's... Yes. Okay, I'll take 10. 10's a good number. Found a grenade. That's cool. Game has no Granada thumb. No, you gotta use your, you gotta switch to it. Yeah, you just, fortunately, it's a weapon. Oh, come on. Give me bullets. Please don't report me to the cops. I'm just trying to play a video game. Jump! Let me free me. In their thumb. Oh my god. Whee! He's bouncing too far. I can't see with all those U-boats. Oh, okay, I think there's... Yeah! Go down. Did I get him? No! Threw a grenade at me! I can't see where they are. That guy. Oh my god, go away. Oh, okay, I just gotta run into it then. all you boat guys. I got him? And they say girls on their periods can't game. Oh. Got him. Oh, this just loops back around? This game reminds me of Call of Duty Roads Victory for the PSP. I have never even heard of that. This one's throwing off my accuracy score. God damn it. Okay. That's it. Oh. Hold on, let me reload. Oh. Oh, I can't hit him even when he's in front of me. I take back that comment about women in video games. I'm joking, that's a joke. Oh my god. This guy has a health pack on his head. Well, had. I love the Thompson on this game. It's the whole game. I really like the feel of the guns in this. Minus the whole like zooming and aiming thing. That is very obnoxious. Oh, where'd you come from? Hold on, guys. I gotta reload. Guys. Oh. Oh, I feel like I'm so close. Oh, I'm not. These U-boats suck. I might have to turn men with silly hats off. Got him. Another one? Or is this the same one and I didn't confirm the kill? Call of Duty World at War, always be my favorite War 2. No, that's fine. These U-boats are messing up my accuracy. Is he dead? Did I sink his battleship? I love game's cover system. It's even better when you remember cheat codes. You just kind of stand there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Am I out of grenades? Or did I just hit the... There we go. Whee! Wink. Whee! Okay, none of that plan worked. Oh my god. Is sensitivity in the settings menu? I couldn't find it. If you find it, please let me know. Is there a way to turn this incessant normal? Oh, come on. Where did they come from? Is there like a door I meant? Or was it like a ladder? Okay. Oh, that door. Because the sensitivity is atrocious. Oh, what I love this game. I just watched a Nazi fall down 2 flights of stairs after I shot him in the back of the noggin. It was hilarious. This game is great. There's not a single part of this game I don't love except for the controller. can't change the sensitivity. Looked it up. Yeah, it's not the best. Oh, what the? Oh, that scared me. Where are you? Yeah, men with silly hats is gonna have to go off. As funny as this is, it's driving me nuts. Oh, I got him. Where is the alarm? Oh. Nothing to worry about, guys. Alarm over. Press the button. I go. Okay. Ah! Oh. Oh my god, shut up. Go this way? interesting. The sensitive play these. Yeah. Well, then remember the controller used to be a lot bigger too. Where do I go? Is there a door? Oh, wait, there's a truck here. Another. Expensive. Oh. All right. I want to get back to what we were doing before because that was a really fun video, and I want to keep learning about the 2000s with you guys because I lived through it too, and you all must suffer. So we're gonna keep doing this and hanging out and stuff, and I'm gonna do a little stretch break. Oh. Truth is, I was starting to get a little sleepy, so I was like, I gotta stop.
Our way of life, our very freedom came under attack. A series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
In the wake of the first foreign attacks on U.S. soil since Pearl Harbor, President George W. and displacement of over 38 million people.
Oh, wait.
Today isn't just 4 million. 2 decades.
And defeated.
The war on terror would come to describe nearly 2 decades.
Shit.
On September 20th.
Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end until every terrorist group of global reach has been found, stopped, and defeated.
The war on terror would come to describe nearly 2 decades of global conflict among multiple nations, with estimates of over 4 million lives lost and displacement of over 38 million people.
Today isn't just any other day. It's my first day. I'm the man.
I know people who love Scrubs.
And 4 years of pre-med, 4 years of med school, and tons of unpaid loans have made me realize one thing.
Good. Could you go drop an NG tube on the patient in 234 and call the attending if the lavage is positive?
I don't know jack.
On October the 5th, British-born American photojournalist Robert Stevens became the first victim in a string of anthrax attacks that rocked the nation. Envelopes containing the deadly substance were mailed to the New York Post, NBC, CBS, ABC, and the National Enquirer, with letters stating, "Death to America, death to Israel, Allah is great." The FBI eventually came to the conclusion that the note was a red herring, and that the actual perpetrator was an anthrax researcher and biochemist named Bruce Ivins. However, there are differing opinions as to whether Ivins truly was guilty, and the one person who did know for sure, Bruce Ivins, took his own life in 2008. A multinational invasion force, led by the United States, entered the Taliban-ruled country of Afghanistan on October 7, 2001.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
The Taliban had been harboring al-Qaeda and its leader, Osama bin Laden, and the United States deemed the invasion necessary to ward off any future attacks from al-Qaeda or another group, to demand the extradition of bin Laden to America, and to get a measure of retaliation for the events of September 11th.
Our role is to protect America, and that's what we're going to do.
The initial invasion lasted until December 17th, but the continuing conflict in Afghanistan would go on to be the longest war in American history, at 19 years and 10 months, with U.S. forces completing their final withdrawal on August 30th, 2021. 6 days later, Advanced Cell Technology, Inc. successfully created the first clone human embryo. This experiment was run on 8 eggs. Of the 8 eggs, 2 successfully divided in order to form embryos, which were composed of 4 cells. The embryos...
Here's some of your science. Weirdly enough, my Steam Deck runs the game at 60 frames. Oh, is that good or bad?
Stopped dividing at this juncture, so it was a far cry from Jurassic Park.
Hello, John. Hello.
But the experiment marked a massive leap forward and yielded a promise of great scientific achievement, but still, no dinos. Speaking of world-changing events, Apple released the first ever iPod on October 23rd.
Pod is the size of a deck of cards. But I happen to have one right here in my pocket, in fact.
Digital music was still viewed as a novelty, but the promise of being able to carry thousands of songs, potentially your entire music collection, on a single portable device had undeniable appeal.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this thing out. And I ain't no rocket scientist, let me tell you.
But the device's steep $400 price tag would keep iPods out of the mainstream for a few more years.
Sir? What? Look.
Attention, we have a new scare leader, Randall Barnes.
Slumber party.
Never mind.
I don't believe this.
What?
Teddy Hanlon's in charge of backup.
Seth Campbell's old partner?
Yeah.
Hey, Jack. Haven't seen you since you put my partner away.
Teddy, don't start.
Is your team in place?
Yeah, we're not up here shopping for doctors.
Hey, I don't want a problem on this.
Not one to be left out of the exciting new gadgets discussion, Microsoft released its first home video game console.
First time, let me now unveil Xbox.
Just in time for Christmas on November 15th. Home to such launch titles as Halo, Dead or Alive 3, and Madden NFL.
I have downloaded Dead or Alive 3. I almost downloaded Beach Volleyball, but I don't know if I can get demonetized for that. But Dead or Alive 3 will be coming to this channel. The brownie looks so good.
2002, the Xbox and its numerous successors cemented the house that Bill Gates built as a serious player in the video game industry.
Bill Gates, you never cease to amaze the Rock.
Excuse me, who are you?
Rubius Hagrid, keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. Of course, you know all about Hogwarts.
Sorry, no.
No? Blimey, Harry, didn't you ever wonder where your mum and dad learned it all?
Learn what?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Or a lizard, Harry.
Leave Billy alone!
The game is inside the cards. New e-reader for Game Boy Advance. Slide the
You're a
cards to play
lizard,
some of
Harry.
your favorite games. E-reader comes with a classic game
I'm a
and a sample
lizard,
pack.
Harry.
More games sold separately. Rated E for everyone.
Enron, a massive energy and commodities corporation, filed for the largest bankruptcy in history at the
Enron, remember them? They supported the Bush campaign.
time on December 2nd, after a systemic pattern of corporate fraud and faulty accounting was revealed in what became known as the Enron scandal. The entire company was effectively a pyramid scheme, cooking the books to collect more money from investors, stealing billions of dollars in the process. Enron would be the first of several high-profile fraud-related bankruptcy cases in the early aughts, which led to new legislation around financial reporting and corporations. The Taliban originated in Kandahar, Afghanistan. Despite naysayers indicating that it would be almost impossible to capture the city of Kandahar, it was taken by U.S.-backed military forces. Some say this conflict marked the end of official rule of the Taliban in Afghanistan. However, this would remain somewhat of a false victory, as U.S. forces would remain in Afghanistan for the next 2 decades.
I need a reason. Don't say money. Why do this?
Why not do it? Because yesterday I walked out of the joint after losing 4 years of my life, and you're cold-decking Teen Beat cover boys. Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house.
Been practicing this speech, haven't
A
you?
little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed it.
No, it's good. I liked it.
Future Stranger Things star Winona Ryder was arrested for shoplifting a $5,500 Saks Fifth Avenue bag in Beverly Hills, California. Bizarrely, the actress claimed that she had been researching a role and that the stolen merchandise was part of her acting process. But just like Ryder, nobody was willing to buy that.
I think on December 12th of 2001, you euphemistically reached what would be termed a crossroads in your life.
And she was sentenced to 3 years probation, 480 hours of community service, and $10,055 in fines and restitution.
I feel like someone's looking over my shoulder.
Yeah. They're all nice to your face. That's because they don't want you to know that they installed security cameras this week.
We all go for the blonde. We block each other. Not a single one of us is going to get her. But they will all give us the cold shoulder because nobody likes to be second choice. But what if no one goes for the blonde? We don't get in each other's way, and we don't insult the other girls. That's the only way we win.
After 11 years and $27 million in fortification and remodeling, Italy's famous Leaning Tower of Pisa finally reopened to the public on the 15th. The extensive work was done to give the tower a stronger base and keep it from tipping all the way over. You think after all that time and money, they'd have fixed that lean?
I swore to protect you. Can you protect me from yourself?
I would have gone with you to the end. Into the very fires of Mordor.
I know.
And that's how 2001
Gay. That was so gay. I feel like I just read like a manga from 2005. Oh my god.
ended, with national monuments and epic fantasy providing a brief escape from an ongoing war and an uncertain future. 2002 was right around the corner, bringing with it an Olympics, a Spider-Man, and a Musk. But that's for next year. Coming soon, 2002. Arriving just 3 months after the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2002 felt more like a new world than a new year.
I swear by my pretty floor bonnet, I will end you.
The year saw a series of corporate bankruptcies, a sports legend beginning his dynasty, a music icon showing us a different side, and much, much more.
That ain't right.
We're going to talk about the news, culture, sports, entertainment, and all that was weird in the aughts. This is Timeline. We hope you like seeing steroid monsters hit home runs, because this one is all about 2002. Now thwip your web slinger and attack those clones. This is 2002.
All I'm trying to do is click back into the frame because what I'm doing is switching back and forth between OBS and YouTube.
This is Timeline.
Because I'm trying to check the volume levels, and every time I go to click back in, I click on a movie or an episode, a video.
Steroid 2. Flip your web slinger and attack those clones. This is 2002.
The stove over here. I mean, my stove. I think I left it on.
The euro, the common currency of the European Union, was officially launched on January 1st, 1999. But for the first 3 years of its existence, it was only used for things without physical money, like electronic payments and accounting. But all that changed on the first day of 2002, with the introduction of euro banknotes and coins across all 12 EU countries, making it the largest known cash changeover in history. President George W. Bush signed the No Child Left Behind Act on January 8th.
We're asking states to design accountability systems to show parents and teachers whether or not children can read and write and add and subtract in grades 3 through 8.
An update to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. The law focused on measuring student and teacher skills and performance against standards set by each state. It created goals for public education and cuts to federal funding for schools that failed to meet them. On March 23, 1991, Sierra Leone was plunged into civil war when the Revolutionary United Front attempted to overthrow the government of Joseph Momo. The war would ultimately take the lives of over 50,000 people and displace another 500,000 before finally being declared over by newly installed President Ahmed Tejan Kaba on January 18th.
Select Kmart stores are closing. Everything's on sale and must be sold now.
Kmart, then America's second largest retailer, filed for bankruptcy protection under Chapter 11. A far cry from a blue light special, Kmart became the largest retailer in U.S. history to ever file for bankruptcy. After dismissing its president, CEO, and board, closing 300 stores, and laying off around 34,000 employees, Kmart would finally emerge from bankruptcy in 2003. Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl was on his way to what he believed was a meeting in Karachi, Pakistan, when he was kidnapped by an Islamist militant group on January 23rd. After accusing the Jewish-American journalist of being a spy, Pearl's captors released photos of him in cuffs with a gun to his head. U.S. intelligence wasn't able to find Pearl before he was beheaded on February 1st. A grisly video of his murder was subsequently released on the internet, instantly becoming notorious. On February 3rd, the New England Patriots stunned the world by defeating the heavily favored St. Louis Rams in Super Bowl 36 at the Louisiana Superdome.
And it's right down the pipe. The Patriots have won Super Bowl 36.
The win would mark the first Super Bowl victory for MVP Tom Brady, who would go on to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. Until, after 23 years, 7 Super Bowl victories, 3 league MVP awards, 5 Super Bowl MVP awards, and 1 previous retirement, Tom Brady finally called it quits on February 1st, 2023.
Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing.
Speaking of sports, the Winter Olympic Games kicked off in Salt Lake City, Utah on February 8th. The Games were officially opened by President Bush.
I declare open the Games of Salt Lake City, celebrating the Olympic Winter Games.
The opening ceremonies paid tribute to the victims and heroes of the September 11th attacks. Norway won the most medals, 25 total, 13 gold. Geez, what's in that Norwegian water? On March 3rd, after 50-odd years of sitting things out, the nation of Switzerland voted to join the United Nations. Voters backed the resolution by a margin of 55 to 45%. But the second round was much narrower, the resolution being approved by a margin of just 1 vote. Geez, what's in that Swedish water?
I'm a very simple man. You gotta have like computer knowledge to turn the f***ing TV on and off. Jeff! I pressed this one button and the shower starts. I'm going, what is this? Where am I, man? And the nightmare continues.
People downloaded my songs off the internet and were knew all my lyrics and stuff. Even before Complicated came out and I was playing that song live, there'd be people up on stage that knew all the words to all my songs. I thought that was cool.
Good cop and bad cop left for the day. I'm a different kind of cop.
You just dropped a grenade in his lap, and what'd you do? Just run?
I did what I thought had to be done at the time.
If he would have gone to jail like he wanted, he would have been killed by Antoine or turned by Kavanaugh. Man, you know that.
You killed him because you were scared. He was strong, and you were a coward.
What are you guys doing?
Now you can feel like a Jedi with new Go-Gurt glow-in-the-dark lightsaber tubes. There's 16 different tubes for a limited time only.
Mom's gonna be back in 30 minutes.
Cool.
On March 14th, normal human Elon Musk founded the space exploration technologies
Totally regular guy, Elon Musk.
company SpaceX to reduce the cost of space travel and eventually establish a human presence on Mars.
At the current prices that NASA pays for space transportation, I don't think we'll be able to achieve anything interesting in space.
SpaceX would become the first private company to do things like develop a liquid propellant rocket and send astronauts to the International Space Station. A magnitude 6.1 earthquake struck Narin, Afghanistan on March 25th, killing over 1,200 people and leaving more than 10,000 homeless. The region had been hit by an earthquake on March 3rd and would be hit again just a few weeks later on April 12th. So, don't ask those guys what's shaking.
I kind of admitted some things to him about my past that are very personal.
Did you fake it ever?
So, the weather's really nice.
What's the answer?
I'm not answering.
Come on, that's the best question I've had all day. I'm glad I know.
Sunday, March 31st, brought professional tennis history when superstar Andre Agassi won the 700th match of his career in a nail-biter against...
The music in this game reminds me of Lego Batman for the PS3 or Lego Star Wars 3 for the DS. You're still talking about Meta or Levana, right? It reminds me of Skyrim.
Roger Federer.
He has his 700th career win.
He was only the 9th player to ever reach 700 wins. No, it's not an April Fool's prank. The Netherlands' new law made the country the first in the world to let doctors end the lives of patients with terminal diseases who were deemed to be suffering unbearably. Dr. Jack Kevorkian must have been fuming. The world mourned on March 30th when Queen Elizabeth died at the age of 101.
Towards Westminster, the crowds swelled now by thousands of tourists, but filled by the tens of thousands for whom
The orchestra feels a lot like Lego Star Wars 3. I've never played it.
she was simply the Queen Mum.
After lying in state so that over 200,000 people could pay their respects, her funeral was on April 9th at Westminster Abbey. We bet even those stoic guards with the fuzzy hats shed a tear. On April 14th, Tiger Woods won his second consecutive Masters tournament, a feat previously accomplished only by Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo. If that's not impressive enough, his 4-day total of 12 under par set a record for lowest 72-hole score by a defending champ. He's got the eye of the tiger, all right.
Peter, these are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
On September 16th, 1963, a bomb exploded at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, killing 4 young girls. Despite determining the identities of the 4 bombers by 1965, the FBI failed to prosecute at the time. After authorities reopened the case in later years, garnering murder convictions in 1977 and 2001, it wasn't until 2002 that the 4th and final living Klansman was brought to trial and convicted. That same day, the remains of former Federal Bureau of Prisoners intern Chandra Levy were discovered in Washington's D.C. Rock Creek Park. Reported missing on May 1st, the case became national news when it broke that Levy had an affair with then-Congressman Gary Condit.
Did you have a romantic relationship with Chandra Levy?
Well, once again, I've been married 34 years. I have not been a perfect man. It's best that I not get into the details of the relationship.
Ingmar Gwandike, a man already serving time in jail, was eventually convicted, and Condit's reputation never recovered.
If you're not here to cooperate, then why are you here?
Ain't nobody gonna talk to you.
As rough as that neighborhood could be, we had us a community, and now all we got
I hear The Wire is like one of the best shows ever.
is bodies and predatory motherfuckers like you. Makes me sick, motherfucker, how far we done fell.
You sent me to kill Wambosi.
Yeah, we can do that anytime we want.
Who am I?
You're U.S. government property. I don't send you to kill. I send you to be invisible. I send you because you don't exist.
On June 24th, tragedy struck Tanzania. Over 280 people were killed when a brake failure caused a passenger train to roll backward down a hill, crashing into a freight train. Though the idea for such a tribunal was first suggested in World War I, it wouldn't be until July 1st, 2002 that the International Criminal Court was created. Based at The Hague in the Netherlands, the body is sanctioned by those countries who signed the Rome Statute to prosecute political leaders accused of war crimes, genocide, or other crimes against humanity. But unfortunately, not your neighbor when he parks in your driveway. Speaking of court, on July 15th, the so-called American Taliban, John Walker Lind, pleaded guilty. An American citizen who fought with the Taliban against the ruling Northern Alliance in Afghanistan, Lind denied ever fighting against any American forces. He was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison and would be released for good behavior on May 23, 2019.
Come with us, Charlie. It'll be an adventure.
I like square butts and I cannot lie. Squid and sea star can't deny. When a sponge walks in, 4 corners in his pants like he got phone book implants, the crowd shouts. All the ladies stare. Dang, those pants are square.
In
2000s internet culture. I can't tell if my melee with the M1 Grand is hitting them with the blunt of the gun or if it's supposed to be the bayonet. Who cares?
2002, WorldCom was the
Whatever your
#2
imagination
long-distance phone
says.
company in the United States.
I believe I can call. I think I'll use the phone in the hall.
But on July 21st, just 1 month after revealing it had improperly booked a mind-blowing $3.8 billion in expenses, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Meanwhile, Kmart was like, thank God, it's not just us.
Hearing the Misfits is so morbid and yet made me feel free. Mikey and I worked at a Barnes & Noble. He ended up with a whole stack of Irvine Welsh books for some bizarre reason. And so he started thumbing through them. On the back cover of one of them, it said 4 Tales of Chemical Romance. And we'd drive around listening to like the Get Up Kids talking about how we wanted to be in a band. And he'd said, yeah, if we had a band, we'd call it My Chemical Romance.
On July 24th, after representing himself in a 2-month federal trial where he was convicted of taking bribes, filing false tax returns, racketeering, and other crimes, James Trafficant,
Do I do my hair with a weed whacker? I admit.
was expelled from the United States House of Representatives.
It is your duty, uphold the integrity of this House of Representatives and vote to expel Jim Trafficant.
The 2 members who violated a 17-year-old page boy and a 17-year-old page girl were not expelled.
The Ohio Democrat was booted by a vote of 420
Oh my God, remember when people gave a shit about pedophiles being in elected positions?
to 1. And that one was, you guessed it, Gary Condit. On that same day, 18 coal miners in the Q Creek mine in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, became trapped after they accidentally dug into an abandoned mine, releasing 75 million gallons of water. The miners would be stuck for 77 hours before being rescued on July 28th.
They were professionals, they were protected appropriately, and they had a whole lot of good people on top working to get them out as quickly as possible, so their outcome was much better than the usual entrapped trauma patient.
They were freezing cold and in dire shape, but they all survived. Sports history was made on August 9th when San Francisco Giants outfielder Barry Bonds hit the 600th home run of his career.
Swing and a long one. This one is way back. It is out of here.
The 421-foot solo shot made Bonds only the 4th major leaguer ever, after Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron, to reach the 600 mark. But 5 years later, Bonds would be indicted by a federal grand jury. The slugger was accused of lying under oath when he denied knowingly taking steroids. And even though the only conviction from the charges would be overturned in 2015, Bonds' damaged reputation would keep him from being elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
America has made their decision. Kelly, Justin, the winner of American Idol 2002 is Kelly Clarkson.
She's the baby.
Pretty much thinking, how am I gonna sing this next song while I'm crying?
On September 21st, Farm Aid 02 rocked the Post-Gazette Pavilion in Burgettstown, Pennsylvania,
How we feeling, Pennsylvania? Take it out.
to raise some money for American farmers in need. The lineup included stars like Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews, Keith Urban, Leanne Womack, and Los Lonely Boys. Just 2 days later, on September 23rd, Mozilla released the first public version of its free, open-source web browser, developed over concerns about the effects of commercial sponsorship on browser technology. Originally named Phoenix 0.1, the browser would later be renamed Firebird, then finally Firefox. Feeling the heat yet? On October 2nd, Beltway snipers John Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo began a shooting spree that would kill 10 people and injure 3 more over 3 weeks in October. Targeting random individuals, the killers brought Washington, D.C. to a near halt.
Sitting on the front porch could be us, could be me, could be anybody.
What's the matter with him? He just got shot.
Is this the Ponderosa?
Who is this?
Don't say anything. Just listen.
For reasons that are still unclear, the two would bring about their own downfall after phoning a tip into a local priest. They would be arrested on October 23rd, bringing their reign of terror to an end.
Chocolate rain.
They couldn't put that in anywhere else. It had to be right there.
Prisons make you wonder where it went. My new phone, sleep, huh?
Yeah, Ving, it's different.
And U9 was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for, as the committee stated, his decades of untiring effort to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts, to advance democracy and human rights, and to promote economic and social development.
War may sometimes be a necessary evil. We will not learn how to live together in peace by killing each other's children.
Carter wasn't the first president to win the prize, being preceded by Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. He also wasn't the last, because on October 9th, 2009, President Barack Obama scored the same award, being nominated after serving only 11 days in his presidency for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples.
Clear-eyed, we can understand that there will be war and still strive for peace, for that is the story of human progress.
No violence toward you, but you have guns in the house. Loaded. They're loaded. You've never been a victim of crime. You haven't been assaulted here. You haven't been...
That was good, too.
So why not? Why don't you unload the gun?
I'm exercising one of the rights passed on down to me from those wise old dead white guys that invented this country.
The shooting tonight in a recording studio in Queens, taking the life of the man known as Jam Master Jay. His real name, Jason Mizell.
Tragedy would strike again on October 30th when Run DMC member Jam Master Jay was shot and killed in his recording studio in New York City.
It just blows your mind when you think about the fact that this guy was killed, because he's not that kind of guy. It's not like a East Coast, West Coast thing.
Jay was killed during what is now generally believed to be a drug deal gone bad. His killers, Ronald Washington and Carl Jordan Jr., would be convicted on February 27, 2024. A third suspect was charged in 2023 and has yet to go to trial. The Iraq disarmament crisis began on November 8th when the United Nations Security Council unanimously approved Resolution 1441, giving Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein a final opportunity to comply with disarmament obligations or face serious consequences.
In the name of freedom, will this man disarm? And if he does not disarm, the United States of America will lead a coalition and disarm him in the name of peace.
Iraq would agree to the resolution just 5 days later, but subsequent developments would lead directly to a multinational invasion of the country on March 20th, 2003. On November 18th, Brainwashed, the 12th and final studio album from Beatles guitarist George Harrison, was posthumously released. The album, completed by George's son Danny and longtime collaborator Jeff Lynne, would garner positive reviews, crack the top 20 on U.S. charts, and spawn the track Marwah Blues, which would win a Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Performance. Federal law enforcement in the U.S. changed forever on November 25th, when President Bush signed the Homeland Security Act.
I'm really glad they're talking about some of the laws that got put into place because these are very important.
A direct response to the attacks of September 11, 2001, the act grouped the federal agencies involved in protection under a single banner. The new Department of Homeland Security would be charged with protecting the national security of the United States, including infrastructure protection, emergency preparedness, and transportation security. On December 18th, the New York Times reported that icon fashion designer Calvin Klein was selling his company to Phillips Van Heusen for roughly $430 million in cash and stock, with a potential for another $300 million in future royalties. It was a good purchase for PVH because in 2022, CK's worldwide retail sales were $9.3 billion. That's what, a single wool tie?
These are the most powerful people in New York City, and they keep peeking over their shoulders, wondering where you're going tonight. Where you going, Frank? Someplace exotic? Just tell me where you're going.
The rest of us really are suckers.
Founded by Reid Hoffman and Eric Lai in Mountain View, California, the business-focused social media platform LinkedIn wouldn't actually go online until May of 2003. but it was founded on December 28, 2002. Growing into a popular tool for online job searches and employee recruitment, it now has over 1 billion users in over 200 different countries. And every single one of them wants to connect with you. And that's how 2002 ended. With an increasingly dangerous world, a burgeoning online destiny, and an HBO show everyone screams at you to watch. But we were only beginning to realize quite how much 9/11 and the internet would change everything in the following year. And the king was about to return. Not Elvis, Aragorn. But that's all for next year. Coming soon, 2003.
What do you think?
Must have been before my time.
Yeah, you see that in the camera. I'm a journalist, you do that. You're mistaken this.
2003, the year that brought the invasion of Iraq, the third Lord of the Rings movie, and the craziest bank heist in human history. The decade that was the 2000s pushed further into the great unknown. 2003 moved us into the war on terror, but also brought us loads of movies and TV shows, sports records, and the passing of several iconic figures.
You believe in Jesus? Well, you're going to meet him.
We're going to talk about the news, culture, sports, entertainment, and all that was weird in the 2000s. This is Timeline.
We'll do most of 2003 in honor of not Dorothy. Oh my God, Blue, who was born in 2003, and then we'll go from there. We'll see. I have to use the bathroom now.
Get ready for some intense geopolitical maneuvering, because this one is all about 2003. Now, rev up your fully electric engines. This is 2003.
We're back.
The year started out with the fear of a big bang as North Korea withdrew from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty.
We have no aggressive intent, no argument with the North Korean people. Yet our resolve in each case will be clear. We will not permit any regime to threaten the freedom and security of the American people.
After detonating nuclear devices and refusing to comply with the International Atomic Energy Agency inspector.
The video just got to 2003, so we're gonna do as much of this as I possibly can before I have to give up for the night. Yeah.
The dictatorship rebelled against calls for atomic de-escalation
Blue.
and officially left the treaty. Guess their favorite Black Eyed Peas song is Boom Boom Pow? Everyone's favorite guy who falsetto yodels It's Only Teenage Wasteland? The Who guitarist Pete Townsend got in some hot water when he was arrested on suspicion of possession of indecent images of minors. After a 4-month investigation, the police made a formal declaration that Townsend had not downloaded, created, or distributed any inappropriate images. However, they issued a formal warning to him not to frequent any sites where such material was created due to evidence that he had visited them in 1999.
My contribution is to take that image that people see, translate it into line, and make them see it the way I see it.
Beloved illustrator and cartoonist Al Hirschfeld died in his sleep at the age of 99. Known for his loopy and expressive drawings, Hirschfeld blazed a new trail in the art of caricature. His drawings appeared everywhere from movie posters to playbills to New York Times articles. On January 26th, Jimmy Kimmel, former host of
If only he knew that he would be fired, put on standby by ABC for making a joke.
The Man Show, received his own late-night talk show on ABC, Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Tonight is the last time I'll be welcoming my co-host, Snoop Dogg. I'm really not good at it, it turns out. At the end of the first show, I was just like, this is not going to work.
Right.
And no one wants to be on my show either. Super Dave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Jerry. And I'm going to jump over some shows that are questionable, so maybe your kids will get better programming.
As of August 2024, Kimmel has been on the air for over 20 years and just celebrated the record of being the longest-running late-night host in the history of the genre.
20 years, that's crazy. Did you hear that, Guillermo? The show goes on for 20 years.
Wow, Jimmy, that's amazing.
Wait a minute. Was Guillermo even old enough to drink in 2003?
Columbia, Houston, we see your tire pressure messages and we did not copy your last.
Tragically, the Space Shuttle Columbia had a disastrous re-entry into Earth's orbit on February 1st, 2003, disintegrating in its descent. The craft shattered and debris was scattered over large parts of Texas and Louisiana.
We lost the data, and that's when we clearly began to know that we had a bad day.
All 7 astronauts on board were killed instantly. Actor Lana Clarkson was found dead inside the Alhambra, California mansion of iconoclastic record producer Phil Spector on February 3rd. Spector would be brought up on second-degree murder charges and sentenced 19 years to life in prison. Ultimately, Spector died in prison on January 22, 2021, from complications related to the coronavirus. He was 81. Rapper Curtis 50 Cent Jackson released his debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', on February 6, 2003. Bolstered by an Eminem co-sign and a wild gunshot survival story.
You're a tough guy. Been stabbed?
Twice I've been stabbed.
How's that feel?
Who stabbed you in the studio?
Phil Spector?
Another entourage, yeah.
50 Cent's debut would go platinum 20 times over.
I want to thank Vivica Fox for wearing that dress, too.
Boasting smash singles like In Da Club, 21 Questions, and PIMP. Go 50. It's your birthday.
Al-Qaeda has to have planted something on this plane. The armory, they have keys to the armory. They copied the movie. They vetted a reporter.
That would take years.
It's sort of setting up 9/11. What's happening?
Freeze! Get your hands in the air!
One of the largest robberies in history transpired when an Italian gang stole loose diamonds, gold, and jewelry from a Belgian vault in Antwerp the day after Valentine's Day. The valuables were said to be worth somewhere north of $100 million.
They catch them?
Thought of now as the heist of the century, the perpetrators were all eventually caught. Some received upwards of a decade in prison, while 3 members of the gang only received 5 years. Not too bad for accomplishing something that's century-worthy.
Sanctuary Heights was the last song we worked on. Kind of wanted one more upbeat song for the album, and we had been working on a cover song that wasn't quite working, readjusted that instrumental, and it turned into Such Great Heights, and then right away we're calling it the hit from the album, because it just felt like even more poppy.
Hey, Apple, what is it? Aren't you glad I didn't say Apple again?
At the Rhode Island venue Station, during a February 20th performance of the band Great White, a pyrotechnics display was miscalibrated and set the venue on fire. Over 100 people died and over 300 were severely injured.
It was a really small part of the show. I wish to God we never would have even thought of it.
The Great White store manager who set off the pyrotechnics pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter and served 4 years in prison.
We're going to do something now we're going to do every week on this show. It's called New Rule. No more whining about the French. At least they're standing up to the Bush administration, which is more than I can say for the Democrats.
Oh, how things never change. Holy crap, the Democrats didn't stand up in the Bush administration, and they're not standing up in the Trump administration. My. And isn't it weird that Chuck Schumer was in both administrations? That's suspicious.
Will you make believe with me? Charlie, to the neighborhood of make believe.
February 27th was a sad day in the neighborhood when everyone's favorite kindly children's television show host, Fred Mr. Rogers, passed away from stomach cancer at the age of 74. Rogers was a PBS children's TV show host who promoted love, understanding, and kindness through his multi-decade-long program.
You know, that's how you can tell when you're grown up inside. You're sure that what you're planning and doing are things that can be a real help to you and your neighbor. I'm proud of you, you know that.
We remove our shoes and sweater in honor, sir. Serbian Prime Minister Zoran Đinđić was killed by organized crime members in Belgrade on March 12th. He was the 6th Prime Minister of Serbia who advocated for more interaction and trade with the Western world. Milorad Ulemic, former commander of the Serbian Police Special Unit, stated that he and mafioso Dusan Spasojevic approved the assassination of Đinđić to restore a pro-Slobodan Milosevic government to Serbia. When Elizabeth Smart went missing in June of 2002, the country held its collective breath.
Elizabeth, if you're out there, we're doing everything we possibly can to help you. Please let her go. Please.
Until March 13th, 2003, almost 9 months after her disappearance. She was discovered in Sandy, Utah, walking with her 2 captors after various bystanders called the authorities, thinking that this little girl bore a striking resemblance to the missing child they had seen on the news. Smart thinking. Smart's captors, Brian David Mitchell and Wanda Eileen Barzee, were both found guilty of kidnapping and sexual assault. Barzee was sentenced to 15 years in prison, while Mitchell was given 2 life terms.
It is possible to move on after something terrible has happened.
Since being found, Smart has become an advocate and public speaker for people who have been abused, kidnapped, or trafficked. This journey began on March 8, 2006, when she spoke to the U.S. Congress in support of Amber Alerts. A survivor and a
This U-boat mission reminds me of Doom 3 for some reason. Is it because the close quarters?
hero.
Despite everything, would you say life is good for Elizabeth Smart?
Yes,
Is
I
it?
would say life is beautiful for Elizabeth Smart.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
On March 20th, 2003, under President George W. Bush, acting with congressional approval, the U.S. military, along with coalition forces, launched Operation Iraqi Freedom, with surprise airstrikes on Iraqi military targets, including Iraq's then-dictator Saddam Hussein's presidential palace.
I also
The
found the
operation
chef.
included close to 250,000
The
American
chef's great. He throws knives.
soldiers. Among them, thousands were deployed in search of weapons of mass destruction. Roughly 3 weeks into the invasion,
I was at a football game when that went live, and they played some of the first footage at the game. Oh my
U.S.-led
God.
coalition forces captured Baghdad. Reportedly, over 2,000 Iraqi soldiers died during the battle.
It was
Saddam Hussein's
Eagles, Cardinals. I remember it clear as day.
regime fell 2
Whoa.
days later, represented by a now iconic image of a statue falling to the ground. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, played his last professional basketball game on April 16, 2003, for the Washington Wizards against the Philadelphia 76ers.
It's time. This is the final retirement. You don't have to worry about, me putting on another uniform.
In that game, his stats included 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jordan retired with 6 NBA championships, 5 MVP awards, 14 All-Star appearances, 2 Olympic gold medals, and 1 Looney Tunes movie.
Let's play some basketball.
We'll let you decide what's the most impressive.
The movie.
On April 21st, iconoclastic singer, pianist, and civil rights activist Nina Simone succumbed to a battle with breast cancer at 70 years old. Simone was a revolutionary figure in the field of jazz and fought for civil rights alongside friends like Martin Luther King Jr., James Baldwin, and Langston Hughes. Her signature tunes include I Loves You Porgy, I Put a Spell on You, and Feeling Good. On May 1st, 2003, in front of a banner reading Mission Accomplished, U.S. President George W. Bush stood on an aircraft carrier and declared that major combat operations in Iraq have ended.
In the Battle
It's
of
just
Iraq,
standing there.
the United States
menacingly.
and our allies have prevailed.
The speech provoked some controversy, with several journalists and military members claiming it implied that the war was over. The initial U.S. military presence was drawn down in the following years, and all combat troops were withdrawn by 2011, only to be redeployed to Iraq in 2014. In 2021, President Joe Biden made his announcement of the end of the most recent combat mission in Iraq.
Our role in Iraq to be available to continue to train, to assist, to help. We are not going to be by the end of the year in a combat mission.
Anyone here from New Hampshire? Wow, that sucks.
If you're from New Hampshire, then you know there's a famous rock formation that, viewed from the right angle, looks like the face of an old man. And on May 3rd, 2003, it collapsed.
Is the future of New Hampshire's tourism ruined?
Experts say over centuries of freezing and thawing, the rocks just couldn't hold up to the pressure of their own weight.
It's incredible, but it's awful at the same time.
People are really sad. It's like you lost a family member.
We miss you, old man of the mountain. We miss you.
My name is Elise. I'm 20 years old. I am applying to medical school.
Oh my
You can choose
between becoming a supermodel or going to med school.
I've actually thought about that, and medical school
America's Next Top Model changed my life. I don't know for the better or worse, though. I said it picks this show. I saw it's so good.
can be deferred indefinitely, whereas being 20 years old cannot.
On May 22nd, Annika Sorenstam became the first woman to play a PGA Tour start, not the LPGA. Appearing at the Bank of America Colonial, she followed 2 other female athletes who made PGA starts, Babe Zaharias in 1946 and Shirley Spork in 1952. The crowd cheered her at every hole. However, her presence was
I think that golfer dated Eleanor Roosevelt. First one.
not without criticism, most notably golfer Vijay Singh, who commented on the fact that if he was paired with her, he would withdraw because she doesn't belong out here. Sorenstam was considered one of the best female golfers of all time, and when she retired in 2008, she had won over 96 international professional tournaments. On May 22nd, 2 days later, Sir Paul McCartney performed his first ever concert in Russia for over 100,000 people.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The event was recorded and released in a special titled Paul McCartney in Red Square. The final song he played? Back in the USSR, the infamous Beatles cut that ironically portrayed the Soviet Union as a nostalgic place of surf rock comfort. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you.
Do you know where my dad is?
Honey, your dad's probably back at the pet store.
Pet store?
Yeah, you know, like, I'm from Bob's Fish Mart.
Pet Palace.
eBay.
So, which one is it?
I'm from the ocean.
Ah, the ocean. The ocean!
And a dishonest man you can always trust to be dishonest. Honestly. Couldn't resist, mate.
One day after Captain Jack Sparrow sailed the seas, musical sensation Wicked opened its premiere curtain. Starring Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, the retelling of the world of Frank L. Baum's Wizard of Oz featured now perennial music theater favorites like Popular, Defying Gravity, and For Good. The play originally opened in San Francisco at the Curran Theater and would move to the Gershwin Theater in October of 2003 for its Broadway debut.
Oh my god, Reese's Puffs! Reese's Puffs. This lives in my head rent free.
Make the morning time epic. Morning time epic. Morning time epic. R-double-E-S-E-S. It's the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolatey flavor. Reese's Puff cereal.
Oh, not this one. I'm talking Reese's Puffs.
Remember
Reese's
how everyone
Puffs.
used to get super annoying calls from telemarketers like constantly?
Do you want to improve your credit score and get out of debt?
Again? Really?
Well, on June 26th, the U.S. government decided to do something about it by establishing the National Do Not Call Registry. The registry aimed to prevent telemarketing companies from contacting private citizens on the list. Almost 750,000 people signed up for this service on the first day, making it one of the more popular things a government has ever done. Tesla is a household name today, but back in 2003, the idea of a mass-market, practical, fully electric car was nearly unthinkable. Nevertheless, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning went out on a limb and founded Tesla, an electric vehicle company, to accomplish that impossible dream. And somehow, that founding led to Twitter being renamed X. History sure is weird. While staying in Colorado for a surgical procedure, star basketball player Kobe Bryant was arrested for sexual assault on the 4th of July, 2003. A 19-year-old hotel employee accused Bryant of assaulting her at the hotel, with bruises on her neck to boot. After the police questioned Bryant, he had admitted to having sex with the individual, but insisted it was consensual.
I'm so sorry for having to put you through this and having to put our family through this.
The case was eventually dismissed due to the woman in question not wanting to publicly testify.
For this reason, and this reason only, I am dismissing this case.
However, a civil case was eventually brought and settled for an undisclosed sum. That same day, iconic R&B singer Barry White died at age 58 from complications of diabetes and high blood pressure. Known for his smooth bass voice, White crooned sultry cuts like "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe," "You're the First, the Last, My Everything," and "Never, Never Gonna Give You Up."
His hair is gorgeous.
Sorry, Panic at the Disco. Barry White was doing long-ass song titles before you were even born.
I would kill for that voice.
On July 14th, 2003, journalist Robert Novak published a Washington Post column called Mission to Niger. In this piece, he outed Valerie Plame as an undercover CIA agent, something you would think no one should be able to find out or publish. The ensuing media scandal ensnared Plame's husband, former diplomat Joseph C. Wilson, who 1 year earlier had published his own bombshell column in the New York Times, stating that President George W. Bush's accusation that Saddam Hussein bought uranium from Africa was inaccurate, an assertion he made.
Medal of Honor Frontline is so good. I told you, bro. It's the superior first-person shooter World War II game Antifa Propaganda.
After being sent on the investigatory assignment under recommendation from Plame herself. Ultimately, Deputy Secretary of State Richard Armitage confessed to leaking Plame's identity to Novak. While he insisted it was inadvertent, some commentators believed it was an obvious retribution to Wilson's article. The scandal led to a criminal investigation.
Wait, what did that lady shirt say in the background? Impeach?
Article. The scandal led to a criminal investigation with Vice President Dick Cheney's Chief of Staff, Scooter Libby, found guilty of 4 counts of criminal obstruction. Government officials, they have weird office squabbles just like us.
So every day for the past 25 years, we've been testing and torturing things like door hinges and hood locks. No other car goes through so much for so little.
On July 30th, Volkswagen produced the final Type 1 of their iconic Beetle, the compact car with the instantly recognizable design that made you slug your sibling on road trips. Ultimately, Volkswagen had produced over 21 million Beetles, the most of any car from a single platform. Ever wanted to rank your top 8 friends? Ever thought about having a homie named Tom? Well, on August 1st, thanks to this nifty new thing called
Thank God the year's almost done. I have to pee so bad.
MySpace, you could. Co-founded by several employees of tech company eUniverse, including the aforementioned Tom Anderson, who came as a friend to every user, MySpace was the first widespread social media network and became the largest one in the world from 2005 through 2009. 13 days later, users on the Northeast trying to access their MySpace were stymied by the 2003 blackout, which left more than 50 million people across the US and Canada without electricity.
We're coming past West 4th Street and the power just went out.
Creepy. I'm getting a flashback from September 11th. I don't like this.
It lasted about 8 hours before being restored. The reason? A software bug in the alarm system in the control room of First Energy. Thankfully, it was rectified quickly and power was restored.
What movie could possibly be worth driving 260 miles round trip for?
It's a new film called Revenge of the Nerds.
So what you're saying is you identify with those nerds?
Yes, I consider myself a nerd.
Star of 5 Death Wish films, Once Upon a Time in the West, The Mechanic, and countless other tough guy films, Charles Bronson died on August 20th, 2003 of a combination of pneumonia and Alzheimer's disease. He was 81 years old.
We heard shots. What happened?
I sent them a message.
The Man in Black himself, influential country superstar Johnny Cash, died on September 12th from complications of diabetes. He was 71. His career spanned decades, featuring iconic tunes like Folsom Prison Blues, I Walk the Line, Ring of Fire, A Boy Named Sue, and a late period cover of 9 Inch Nails' Hurt.
For relaxing times, make it Suntory time.
君の瞳に乾杯。サントリータイム。
He wants you to tell, look in camera. Okay?
That's all he said?
On September 14th, against the Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens running back Jamal Lewis set the NFL single-game rushing record.
Heavy on the carbs. Touchdown.
Lewis ran over 295 yards and scored 2 touchdowns on 20 carries. Thanks in part to this history-making performance, the Ravens scored a 33-13 victory over the Browns.
I guess you could stay here. I'll see you when you get here.
I don't think that was a good show. Hot take. I didn't like it.
Oh, is she staying over? Because I may have parked behind her.
You son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
What the French,
Did you
Toast?
think I wouldn't find out about your little doo-doo head cootie queen?
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lit
lit
liquor?
liquor.
You kumquat!
You're overreacting.
No, Bill, overreacting was when I put your convertible into a wood chipper. Stinky McStink face!
Yeah, lit liquor.
New Orbit Raspberry Mint cleans another dirty mouth. For a good clean feeling, no matter what.
Siegfried Fischbacher and Roy Horn might be well known for training tigers and performing magic tricks, but they might be equally well known for a tragic mishap during an October 3rd live performance, where a tiger called Manticore attacked Roy and almost killed him.
It kind of nipped at his hand. He smacked at it.
But Roy suffered no ill will toward the cat. In fact, en route to the hospital, he was quoted as saying, make sure no harm comes to Manticore. With friendly cats like those? On October 7th, Gray Davis became the first governor of California and second governor in the history of the U.S. to be recalled. The special election was triggered in July by the collection of 1.3 million signatures demanding a recall. A cavalcade of hopefuls campaigned for 3 months, and the official ballot had 135 candidates to choose from. And the winner from this fracas? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've heard your voices loud and clear. We have tough choices ahead.
The Terminator became the Governator and did a decent enough job to win re-election. He served as California governor until 2011.
Come on.
Mommy, I'm home.
Hey, baby. How was school?
Ooh, Steve, it's coming right at us. Grab it. I don't want to get in the way. It's a foul ball. What harm can it do?
1 week later, baseball fan Steve Bartman deflected the ball away from Chicago Cubs outfielder Moises Alou, leading to a very Chicago Cubs chain of events. With the Cubs leading 3-0 in the 8th inning of Game 6 of the National League Championship Series, the Florida Marlins hit a fly ball, and Bartman reached out and interfered with the play, turning a potential out into a home run.
That's awfully close to fan interference right there.
No!
After the shocking turn of events, the Cubs allowed 8 runs in a single inning and went on to lose the series. In the future, please do not do the Bartman.
This is Michael's mother.
Look what they've done, Michael.
She isn't happy.
Look what the homosexuals have done to me.
You can't just calm that out and reset it?
Currently, she's upset that her husband's retirement party is being upstaged by a group of gay protesters.
On November 18th, the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court ruled that the state's ban on same-sex marriages was unconstitutional.
In the end, it was 151-45, so it was a comfortable margin. I'm very happy it ended that way. And for all those people out there who would have lost their rights, congratulations.
In their majority opinion stated, the marriage ban works deep and scarring hardship on a very real segment of the community for no rational reason.
We're best friends since we're 2. That's like kissing your sister.
So?
You guys kiss on the lips.
No. So?
You give him a kiss on the lips, I'll give you a kiss on the lips.
Ew. Oh.
On December 5th, Coldplay frontman Chris Martin and actor Gwyneth Paltrow married in Santa Barbara, California. The couple had 2 children together, Apple and Moses, and were divorced in 2016 after a much-publicized conscious uncoupling. And on December 13th, as a result of Operation Red Dawn, the U.S. military finally located Saddam Hussein in the town of Adwar, Iraq. He was discovered hiding in a spider hole, and his woozy, disheveled, bearded visage became an instantly striking, iconic image. And that's how 2003 ended. 2004 was right around the corner, bringing with it more global conflict and more iconic pop culture. But that's all for next year.
All right.
Coming soon, 2004.
That's really interesting.
You're managed by the company you look after S Club.
Okay, all right, everybody. I have to use the bathroom so bad, and we're going to end stream right now. So, I'm off tomorrow. It's Tuesday. Then I will be back Wednesday. And Wednesday, we're going to go over Jimmy Kimmel's monologue and whatever else is going on and jump back into all of this fun stuff and maybe cover a few science things from the 2000s. But I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.